What's up, guys? Welcome to a very special episode of the Nerf Herder Council. It is WTF Friday, which means obviously what the force are we going to talk about? I'm your host, JT. We will bring on my esteemed co-hosts in a minute and a very special guest host. Just a quick reminder, you can catch the Nerf Herder Council live every other Wednesday at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Jump in the chat, be a part of the show with us live. We bring your comments up on the screen so you guys can become a part of the discussion. The next regular episode of the Nerf Herder Council is going to be next Wednesday. It will be February 16th, again at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And as always, don't forget, we are brought to you by Audible. Go to audibletrial.com/NHC for your 30-day trial and a free audiobook download. And if you'd like to get some customizable Nerf Herder Council swag, just go to shop.nerfherdercouncil.com. Without further ado, let me bring on AJ and Steve. What is going on, guys? How is it hanging?
What up?
Hey, good times, man. How you doing?
I am doing well, man. This is the second night in a row that I am podcasting, so I get to, use my chops a little bit more than usual, get some practice in here. Why don't we bring on our special guest co-host? For people who have paid attention to the show for a bit now, we've had our good friend on, God, what is it, 3 times now? 4 times? Something like that. And he is the host of a kick-ass Star Wars show called Machtails From The Cantina. He is a Star Wars documentarian and a very good friend of ours, all the way live from the Windy City, Chicago, Illinois, none other than Mr. Cris Macht. What is going on, man?
Hey, man. I love you guys. Thank you so much for having me on the show. Happy Friday to you guys. I feel like, this is like a rock concert. And I know you guys are big music fans. I'm like, I was literally at a friend's house for dinner 5 minutes away. And I'm like, I got to get back on time because I'm joining you guys live. And I'm like, you know what? We can make it. And I was texting with you guys. And here we are now, live, right? We're ready to party.
Dude, nice.
Perfect.
Nice. What you got there, Chris? I see the bottle.
The usual go-to Mark West Pinot Noir, it's
there you go.
Red wine.
Fancy.
You guys drinking on a Friday night. Happy Friday to you guys. Thank you again for having me on the show, man.
Happy Friday to you, man.
I brought out the big boy tonight.
Ah, there you go.
I'm
always here with water, so
always here with the water, even on a Friday night.
Steve keeps us in check, man.
No, I keep myself in check. I can't claim you guys.
I've got Tito's in a frosted freezer mug, so there you go.
Tito's nice. Just straight up Tito's or no margarita mix in there?
Straight up, man. Straight up. If I mix it, it tastes too good.
Bastard.
And then if I mix it, it tastes too damn good, and then I'm gonna want more. And I'm trying to behave myself. I do have a show to lead here.
Oh, yeah, man. Somebody's got to be in charge. And John, I want to thank you again for your Patreon support on Machtails From The Cantina. I am looking forward to collaborating with you guys, which I want to talk to you about, at Celebration Anaheim.
Yes.
I got some pics on my long sleeve here, man.
You know what?
And I want you guys to be a part of it. So we will chat off camera about my plan of attack. But you guys, I want to do a Mocktails Nerf Herder Council mashup at a brewery doing a live Star Wars podcast from Celebration Anaheim.
I can confidently say that is happening for sure.
Yeah. As soon as you said brewery, I was in. I don't even have a ticket to Celebration yet, but I will be at that brewery.
Yeah.
It might not be at Celebration, but I'll be at the brewery, right?
Podcasting from the brewery. Yep. Podcasting.
Let's see, Chris. You said Star Wars Celebration, beer, and podcasting to AJ and I. Yeah, go for it. I mean, yeah. What more needs said? So.
Oh, and it's a collaboration, so we're totally in, right?
There you go. There you go.
It's practically a civil union at this point.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, I'm going to be in Vegas the weekend before if you want to make this official.
Well, I need to quote the Book of Boba Fett because I feel like the Book of Boba Fett is totally quotable. I abide.
Nice. Oh, man. So, yeah, why don't we jump into that? So tonight's topic, we are broadcasting. This is our official episode for Star Wars Podcast Day. So if anybody's checking the show out due to the promotion that was done on Star Wars Podcast Day, we appreciate you. Hopefully you enjoy the show. Again, our show is live every other Wednesday at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but this is one of our WTF Fridays where we do a special episode and talk about whatever the hell we feel like. And tonight we are going to discuss our season recap of the Book of Boba Fett. And real quick, let's go around the horn, and just the quickest overview. I will start. I thought the show kicked ass. If I have complaints, they're very minimal. And so I loved it. By the way, Kale McLeish is checking in all the way from Australia. Great to see you, Kale. 2 nights in a row we get to hang out. Thanks for coming to the show, dude. So, all right. So I loved it. I mean, my bitches about the show are minimal. AJ, what about you?
I loved all the bits of the story, but I think as a show, it was kind of a jumbled mess.
Okay, Steve.
I kind of agree with you, John. The first 4 episodes of Book of Boba Fett were great, and then season 3 of The Mandalorian that closed it out was also just as good. So it was definitely good all the way around.
And Chris.
I gotta say, I remember hearing. Okay, I gotta make a long story short. I really do. I don't want to make this long-winded, but I gotta say, it really all stems back to Celebration 4. When we first heard that there was going to be a live-action Star Wars TV show. And it was very much like George saying, hey, we're going to get episode 1 in 1997, and we got the special editions. And when we heard at Celebration 4, 2007, we're going to get Star Wars live-action TV show, and we got the Clone Wars for all these years, let me just tell you, The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett did not disappoint. It delivered spot on. Just to see classic characters come to life was enough for me to have a Star Wars orgasm on Valentine's Day weekend.
Nice.
I mean, it was incredible to see. I think the problem is with Star Wars fans is we have expectations, speculation, and it leads to disappointment. I went into the Book of Boba Fett just wanting to know more about Star Wars live action TV. And I just watched with an open mind, and I was like, man, it was amazing. Now, here's the thing. Episode 5 and episode 6, yes, you got, the Mando came back in episode 5. Luke came in episode 6. You cannot top that. You can't. And the finale was a little flat in regards to what they just came from. But let me tell you, as an independent filmmaker, that is how filmmaking is done. Sometimes you got to deliver the best of the best, and whatever you have left over to follow is going to tell the story. And I think that's exactly what Book of Boba Fett did. I could never complain about what I got. Never. I'm thankful to Disney Plus, and I'm thankful to Kathleen Kennedy, for matter of fact.
There's someone who doesn't get enough credit, yeah.
No, yeah. She never gets credit. I'm not a fan of her, but I'm going to thank her just this once. Amazing. I cannot wait for Obi-Wan, and I tell you right now, and as a big fan of Rogue One, it's my favorite Star Wars film. How can you not be excited for what's to come next?
Oh, well, I can tell you how you can't be excited for Andor. If your name is Steve, you cannot be excited for Andor.
I never said I'm really not excited. I just, no matter how many times I watch Rogue One, I just don't care about the characters. Great movie, you just don't care about them.
The guy is drinking water on a Friday night. He doesn't care. He doesn't care about Rogue One characters.
Hey, I set that one up on purpose. I set that up on purpose because I knew what would happen.
Hey, JT was right earlier. I got to keep these guys balanced out, man. I can't just agree with everything they say.
Oh my God!
I gotta ask you, my friend drinking the water that doesn't like Rogue One. Are you going to Star Wars Celebration?
No.
He goes to Disney. He goes to Disney, but he does not go to Celebration. Oh, look, it's our buddy DQ. John Godfrey checking in says, kick him out now. WTF. That's why it's WTF Friday, man.
I figure I'll just
Right?
say it now. I'm going back to Disney in August.
Oh God, Steve. Man, that's less than 3 months after Celebration. What is it with you?
I'm gonna get to see the Millennium
The
Falcon.
man's always
before
got money
you
for
do.
Disney.
Oh,
Just saying. I'm gonna see the Falcon
Jesus.
before you.
They've got one in Anaheim. Just saying.
yeah. Eat my crumb.
Well,
All right.
you have to actually go to
Anaheim, Steve.
Yeah, you actually have to go in there to see it first, though.
You suck. All right, so to the point that you made about Mando season this, and here comes Bubba about to knock over several beverages.
Watch out! Hey, hold on to that Tito's with care.
Yeah, and of course he's got to bump my camera. So for
Always.
those
I love how we
familiar with
made
the
this
show-
commitment to like increase the production value, and then we just got cat in frame.
Thanks, Bubs.
Well-
Appreciate that.
But
So-
we are animal lovers. We are animal lovers on this show.
Yes, very much
Yep.
so. I actually now
I
he's
kicked
ki-
mine
Bubba,
out. Mine are out there.
Bubba, he's kicking buttons. Do I still sound the same? Because he's literally kicking buttons on the mixing board.
Nah.
See that
It
door?
sounds about
Animals are
right.
behind it.
I know. Yeah. Speaking of animals, my wife had a dog delivered to me for Valentine's Day today.
A
She
dog?
literally,
Really?
yes.
She
Dude,
told me
it was
about
so-
that last week.
Yeah, so I'll tell the story real quick, and then we'll get back to Book of Boba Fett. But one of our local animal shelters had a thing. It was called Dogogram, and you could literally, it was like a gift bag that you purchase, and volunteers from the shelter brought it to wherever it was asked to be brought to, but they brought one of the dogs with them. So my wife had the gift bag sent to my work with a dog. So I get surprised by one of my coworkers saying, "Oh, I need help at the front desk." I come down, there's a dog sitting there with these two ladies, and I was like, "Did you just tell me you need help because there's a dog here?" Everyone knows I'm an enormous dog person, and she starts laughing, and I'm loving on this dog, and I went, "Wait a minute, is this dog here for me?" And the ladies went, "Yeah, you're John, right?" I'm like, "Yeah," and then I'm like, "Who the hell would send a dog?" And I saw they had this red satchel of gifts. I was like, holy crap, my wife sent me a dog to pet in the middle of the workday for Valentine's Day. So it was awesome. It was like the greatest thing. So, all right. So here, no, Kale, it's, we are not adopting Marco. He is a boxer lab mix, but if I was in the market, I would have, he's 1 year old. And he was absolutely the friendliest thing. My wife even told them, make sure you send a dog that doesn't mind humans being all over him, kissing him, hugging him, talking to him, and everything. Like, my husband is going to go nuts over this dog. So,
That's awesome, though. That's awesome that there was a
Yep.
dog delivered to your house on Valentine's weekend.
how great is that?
It's
So,
love. It's love
all
is
right.
in the air.
So let's get right into this here. Okay, so Cale McLeish, he says he's right. There was a lot of season 2.5 that wasn't necessarily needed. But having said that, I'm glad that we had it. Where do you guys stand in regards to having a pretty significant amount of Mando material right smack in the middle of the Book of Boba Fett, where it kind of didn't really seem like it was needed? Where are you guys at on that? Steve, I'm going to start with you. Steve.
I didn't mind it. Like, at first glance, it seemed kind of weird, especially since the intro of him into the series was giving him an entire episode. So it was like it really was just an episode of The Mandalorian, had nothing to do with Book of Boba Fett. But honestly, I thought they tied it in pretty well by having them, work together in episode 7 and everything. So I honestly didn't mind it.
Okay. Chris, what about you?
Well, I always thought that, so Boba Fett was introduced in The Mandalorian. And then at the end of The Mandalorian, they teased the Book of Boba Fett. And I am not one to speculate, but I thought, the Book of Boba Fett was going to be this side story of The Mandalorian. And it was going to tie back into The Mandalorian Season 3. And that's exactly what they did on the finale. I mean, they played the Mandalorian theme. He was in the Naboo Starfighter, the silver revamped version of the Naboo Starfighter, telling bad parenting, by the way. kept telling Grogu, no. And then he's like, okay, just this one more time. It's like, you have to stick with your no. You have to stand by your decision. And he gave into it. And I just felt like the way that I feel like the way that Boba Fett was introduced, and I feel like the way that it played out, it made perfect sense. So the fact that episode 5 was a Mandalorian episode, 2.5, right? It made sense to me because I feel like Boba Fett is just a side story overall of the Mandalorian's big picture. And it played out perfectly in episode 5. And then in episode 6, we all freaked out about Luke. Some people complained about Luke, the deep fake. Like, why should we have a deep fake? There should be an actor. I don't think you could have had any representation better than what we had. Because I was watching that, and my wife watched it. Casual fan she is. She's like, is that CGI? I'm like, exactly. You're wondering if that is real or fake.
Yeah.
And how do you follow up with that in the season finale? You know, you just can't. You can't.
Yeah.
You can't peak. You've already peaked in 5 and then 6. You can't peak in that in episode 7. But I feel like the way that it played out, it went back to the Mandalorian, and I think in a big picture, that's what it's all about. Book of Boba Fett isn't going to have season 3. Mandalorian's probably going to go to season 4, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And it played out perfectly.
Because to just the piggyback off of that, to have 2.5 episodes that were Mandalorian heavy in Book of Boba Fett makes more sense than having Mandalorian season 3 and have 4 of the episodes be about Boba Fett. It really wouldn't have made too much sense. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially because we were introduced to this live action TV series through The Mandalorian.
Yep.
So, I mean, The Mandalorian paved the way. All the fans were happy because there were no expectations. It was a brand new series, brand new character. You know, it was the home run for Star Wars, if you will. And I think a lot of people maybe felt a little disappointed with the Book of Boba Fett because they had, especially Sean Hines chiming in. They had these fantasies from the last 40 years. How do you meet that expectation on a character that we were introduced to in 1979 during the Star Wars Holiday Special?
Yeah.
You can't live up to that. You cannot.
Yep.
You know.
But by the way, you did mention him. Our buddy Sean Hines is checking in. He says, "I've been tracking you, Nerf herders." It's good to see you, man. The Vandalorian checking in. The greatest.
Vandalorian, yes, he will be live in person at Celebration Anaheim.
Oh, the greatest Mandalorian armor ever created, bar none. Bar fucking none, man.
All right. Can I argue the opposite point here?
Go
I'm always
for
the
it.
contrarian,
We're all about
but okay.
balancing the force tonight, so go for it.
So,
Yeah. So- oh, what happened to AJ? The joke never gets old, man. All right, sorry, go ahead. You know I had to do it.
you finished?
Can I finish? Okay, I'm finished. All right, go ahead.
No, like, so this reminds me, the whole Mandalorian and Boba Fett thing kind of reminds me of, like, the Clone Wars to the Rebels, where, like, as soon as Ahsoka showed up in Rebels, everyone thought that she was just going to, like, take over the show because she was so much more popular than the new characters on Rebels. My problem with The Mandalorian taking so much screen time away from Book of Boba Fett is the whole idea was like, okay, so Boba Fett showed up and had a supporting role in The Mandalorian. Book of Boba Fett was supposed to be a shift of focus to be Boba Fett first, and Mandalorian just comes in as like a little seasoning on top where needed. To give like basically 2 whole episodes over to the Mandalorian in a 7-episode arc, like that's way too much screen time for a supporting character. To actually say that like Boba Fett doesn't even show up in episode 5 at all. Fennec Shand shows up for like 15 seconds. And I don't know how much screen time any of the main characters from this show had in episode 6, but it wasn't much. It was
Yeah.
basically the Luke and Grogu show.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's a way to balance it out, and it feels like they just kind of didn't want to. Like as soon as the Mandalorian showed up and got an entire episode in episode 5, it seemed like it really like kind of shat on the series. Just like your main character's over here, but we're gonna give an entire episode of 7 to this supporting character, and instantly it became the best episode of the series. Like it just showed that like your main character for the entire series couldn't carry his own series.
I completely disagree.
And that
with
was my problem. Was like I was on board with the Boba Fett story until they showed a Mandalorian episode, and I was like, oh yeah, that's better. I like that better.
You can't say that episode was the best one when the guy tried to hack his own leg off with the Darksaber. All right.
Right.
Well, AJ, you are spot on. You are very, very spot on. I feel like as a fan of the Book of Boba Fett, yes, episode 5, you're like WTF, right? And then yes, episode 6 was the Grogu and Luke show. So I feel like as a Boba Fett fan, you were robbed, right? There's only 7 episodes. 2 of them had nothing to do with Boba Fett.
Yeah.
I cannot disagree with you at all on that.
Sean agrees.
If
He says,
you could
"Damn
actually
right."
take out 5 and 6, just take those 2 episodes out and change very little from 7, and you'd have a great like 5 episode series.
Well, I will disagree with you guys. I mean, Sean agrees. He says, damn right. Let's be real. This is Boba friggin' Fett, for Christ's sakes. After waiting over 40 years, this is how you treat this legendary character? I didn't have a problem with them doing that. I mean, it was a little questionable, but I think the point that everyone's missing is that I think we've learned that Favreau and Filoni do everything for a reason, and I think bringing the Mando characters in for as much screen time as they did, I think that points to the fact that these shows are really going to tie together more than you think, and there's going to be a lot more Boba Fett, and there's going to be a lot more cool stuff to see from him. I don't think they would have purposely taken away screen time from Boba, especially, as Sean said, he's been this legendary character forever, even though AJ hates Boba Fett. He's been this legendary character forever, and you finally get, all this backstory, and you get him coming out of the Sarlacc, and all this stuff that you always wanted to see, and then all of a sudden they take him out for an entire episode and most of another in a 7-episode series. Like, it's planned. It's planned. They've got something bigger coming, so I didn't have a problem with it.
Okay, no, AJ, do you truly hate the character Boba Fett?
No, JT's just talking shit.
Okay,
See, my only issue, with Boba Fett over the years was that the character was based on his mystique. Like, we didn't know anything about him from the original trilogy, and then we got like that little bit of backstory in episode 2, and then we get him in Clone Wars, and we get more of him in Clone Wars, and it's like, all right, you're peeling away the layers, and the mystery is part of his appeal. So
yeah, the mystery is part of his appeal. I think that is what sets it up for the disappointment. Is the mystery is part of the appeal, but then you're revealing more about this character. And John, to comment on what you said, I do believe you're right. This is part of a bigger picture.
Yeah,
I think the thing that the fans need to listen to the most is that The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett are the same. You have to look at it as the big picture, Yeah, the Mando came in, episode 5, took away an episode from Boba Fett. Luke came in, but you needed to see Luke. And people were complaining about Luke being mellow and peaceful. It's like he just defeated the Emperor,
Yeah.
I mean, it's the most peaceful state of mind that Luke is ever going to be in. We got a chance to see that.
Yep.
I don't want to sound like a crazy radical hippie here, but I think fans really need to loosen up on the hate for what they see in the movies, in the TV show.
I completely agree. Luke, I mean, it's kind of like the beginning of a natural arc, because what he turns into in The Last Jedi. So now what you have is basically Grogu is the start of the new Jedi Academy, We know that that's got to be what it is. And so this is what Luke was. He was going to resurrect the Jedi. You know, he was hope. You know, he had brought Vader back from the dark side. You know, he's super good Luke. He's super mellow Luke, like ultimate Jedi Luke. So I mean, what else would you expect? You know,
Right.
You know, it's interesting, you know, because, you know, AJ, to your point, Kale McLeish, he says, let me say this. I think this ruined Boba Fett for me. I think he was better kept as a mystery, something they've managed to do with Mando. But now I know too much of Fett, and I don't know that I like it. I love Boba Fett.
Because Morrison even did an interview and said he thought that they made him talk too much. So even in a roundabout way, it's almost like he's kind of agreeing that they, like AJ said, peeled back too many layers of the character.
But I think he's still a badass. It's just in a different way. Like, instead of
Right.
being this ruthless mercenary, it's like now he's a badass. Like, I'm going to be a leader guy. Like, it's kind of like the Luke arc where he changes and he matures over
Right.
time, and his outlook changes.
Because
you know?
Cad Bane
we talk
even
about
calls
that?
Cad Bane even calls him out on it, and he says like, "Hey, I've changed," you know. So he's kind of like,
we're gonna.
he's like, he basically was like, "Hey, I'm older now, and I'm not playing that bullshit. This is me now. Deal with it."
Right, right.
Yeah. But we're gonna get to Cad Bane because boy do I got a take on that one. But AJ, so yes, we can discuss it. So go ahead.
So now Boba Fett wants to be a crime lord, right?
Yep.
It's a pretty big character shift from who he was to who he is in this series, and he is this new transformed version pretty much from scene 1, episode 1. How do you guys feel about that? Because it took me a while to really come around to the idea, like you said, like to go against my preconceived notions, my headcanon of like who this character is, and just go along for the ride and just take what the storytellers are giving us. What did you guys think of that transformation for him? Do you think it was on point, or was it kind of like a left field swerve?
Hey, Kale, he just said along for the ride. Chris, I'll let you answer that one first.
Well, I think it was a little bit of a left, you know, it was a left curveball, if you will. But at the same, you know what?
Oh,
It's so weird to get a sequel story on a classic character like Boba Fett. And I just feel like the fact that Tamora Morrison was casted as Boba Fett, and I feel like the fact that Doug Chang got everything right with the design concept and everything that you saw on screen, like every time they showed Jabba's palace, I was blown away. I'm like, oh my God, it looks exactly like it should be from 1983, you know, from when we saw Return of the Jedi. So
They even honored the layout from Battlefront 2,
yeah.
so it's accurate to the video game. Yeah, because
Yeah,
they
well,
built that
I
out
didn't
as a
know that.
level,
Hey, man,
and yeah,
Yep.
in the finale season, I felt like I was watching Battlefront because the finale season felt exactly like playing the Battlefront video game. But I kept being blown away by what I was seeing versus complaining about what I saw, which didn't make sense to me. It was a little weird from Boba Fett being a bounty hunter to becoming a crime lord. But I think in the end, watching it kind of played out. And you got to think about Boba Fett came back from the dead. If you come back from the dead, you're not going to be your same self. And I think that's exactly how it played out in this TV show. You know?
that's a fair point. We got a couple friends that should have died and didn't, and yeah, it's a formative
Yeah.
experience for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
It definitely shifts your perspective on things.
Yeah.
But okay, so other question: how is he a crime lord?
Well, I never thought
There
he
was
a
only
crime
one
lord.
crime taking place, and he shut it down.
I never thought he was a crime lord. That's the
Because
thing.
he sat in the chair and said he's one. Damn it, that's how.
Yeah, that's the thing. He said, "I'm a crime lord," but like he never did any crime.
Yeah. I just
Like he's a hero now, right?
Pretty
That's
much.
what I thought. That's
He's
what
like,
I thought.
He's like anti-hero.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's the anti-hero turned hero.
yeah. Look, Sean Hines says The plot of many of the episodes seem like video game goals.
Well, I would definitely say that about episode 7. The finale felt like a video game goal. Absolutely. When I felt like I was playing Battlefront 1, for God's sake.
So did Mandalorian, though.
Yeah.
Mandalorian, let's see. Oh, we got to get to the front of this cargo cruiser before it takes off into the atmosphere. We've got to fight off the dark troopers that are trying to assault us on the bridge of this light cruiser. We've got, that's the formula. So I'm okay with that part.
Yeah, well, yeah, and that's not a bad formula to have, because I feel like the video games over the last 20 plus years have kind of stolen the formula that we wanted to see on TV. And then I feel like TV was like, hey, that was what we wanted to show. We're going to borrow that from you guys and play this out on TV.
And the storytelling is sweet, man. Fallen Order has a great story.
Yeah.
If you want to rip from the video games, that's fine by me.
All of them do, man. All of them
okay.
have a sweet story.
I'm glad you brought that up. Speaking of Fallen Order, when you guys saw BD1, were you doing like I was, like, okay, where's Cal Kestis? When is Cal Kestis coming in? Am I the only one that thought that was happening?
I questioned it too, but then I was like, is it really BD1 or is it just a BD droid? So I was like, if they would have said, if she would have like said his name at some point, you knew it was BD1, it would have been like, oh shit. Like,
It's not actually BD1. Just
I didn't think so. Yeah.
How do you know
However, it is R5D4.
that one? Yeah, there's another good one.
R5D4, yes.
Boy, that episode was nothing but, like, as you call it, AJ, member berries. Like, that was all the feels. The episode 1 stuff, R5, like, that was just I was that guy sitting on the couch with Steph, just watching the show, going, oh, it's so and so. Oh yeah, yeah. Like, the whole time, I was just going nuts for that episode. I was like, oh God, it was so good. Like, I don't know, like. Again, I can't really complain about anything in the show. Like I said in the outset, like, I understand why other people have, like, bitches about it, but God, this show is just so much fun. And as much as, you guys were talking about, it strips the mystique away from Boba Fett, like, I don't mind that because it expanded the character. I love when they do that. Like, I'm a huge fan of The Last Jedi. Chris, I think, like, where do you stand? Because I know Steve and AJ and I love that movie. Where are you? Are you a TLJ fan? Not a fan?
I was a fan of the sequels. Did they live up to what episode 1, 2, and 3 did for me? No, but they were still great to see. I don't know why people bitch and complain. Okay, this is WTF. I need to speak my mind. It's Valentine's Day weekend. This is kind of like saying that, okay, I want to, have sex with my mate. Okay, my girlfriend, my wife, whatever. And you want to see your lady dressed up in lingerie. But she's like, I'm not putting on the lingerie, but I'll have sex with you. People would still complain about that. That's Star Wars fans right there, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Dude, can you not accept what we see and just take it and love it and run with it, because it's what we've dreamt of and it's what we wanted to see for so long. There's so much negativity in the world today. Yep. Why do we have to make Star Wars a part of that? Why?
Yep.
I don't get it. I don't.
It's kind of like Luke at the end of Mando season 2. People like, oh, they could have done a better job. Like, or you know what they could have done? Yeah. Not have motherfucking Luke Skywalker. That's what they could have done, and it looks damn close. Like, what are you complaining about?
Yes, exactly.
Like you got Luke Skywalker, for fuck's sake. Like, why are you bitching?
Why?
Like,
by the way, he looked way better in this, didn't he?
Well, okay, so there's a rumor, and I've seen this online, and there's no corroboration to it, but apparently there's a guy that is, like, amazing at those deep fakes, and they ended up contacting him after they saw some stuff online where fans were like, oh, they could have done a little better, and they got, like, this super pro deep fake guy to come in and do it. So I don't know if that's true. It could just be BS online.
Well, I did hear that they did improve the technology, but in reality, I believe that when we saw Luke in the finale of Mando, it was more minimal, right?
Yeah.
Where they took that effect, they made it better, and they were able to do more with him in the Book of Boba Fett, which they did. But people are bitching. You know what? You can please some of the people some of the time, but you can't please all the people all the time.
Yeah.
That's a great analogy, man. That's a great analogy.
I also heard they got a stand-in that looked more like a young Mark Hamill too, so there was like less digital manipulation that needed to be done there.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. So Kale brings up an interesting point here. So he says he's got 2 comments. He says Luke was kind of going down a bit of a dark path already in this one. Only a Sith deals in absolutes, and he's following the Jedi path too closely. His ultimate move is to tell Grogu no attachments, as in, I don't know, what kept him strong with Han and Leia. He's a Jedi by choice, but he's also following the wrong discipline, leading to his failure with Ben. I think those are excellent points, and I think, Kale, that's very astute. And I didn't notice that because I was just so busy being like, "Holy crap, it's Luke Skywalker!" So
I think that's what they were counting on was people too busy wiping drool off their chin to, actually try to make sense of the scene that was playing out in front of them.
And it's like, and I also saw people that were saying, kind of going back to our previous point, and then we'll move into the Sith deals and absolutes. But the deep fake thing, I've also seen people complaining that oh well, why is Grogu all nimble anymore? Like all of a sudden, why is he all agile and stuff? And I responded, I saw this I think on Twitter, and I just kept responding with the gif of Yoda getting his lightsaber.
John responds on Twitter. What a surprise.
Oh dude, it's like, did you not watch Attack of the Clones when he's fighting Count Dooku? Like, Yoda at like 800 some years old is kicking ass. Why wouldn't
Yeah, but
Grogu
we don't recognize
at 50
that
years
version.
old?
That's bullshit too. You're not allowed to use that as a point of reference because that's crap.
Such a bunch of garbage. Such a bunch of garbage. Oh my God. Yeah, it's like Chris, to your point, why are you complaining? Like,
Yeah,
what's there-
you know what?
it-
Look, I don't know where you guys were. You know what? Star Wars fell asleep in everybody's life at some point. And if you tell me not, you're lying. Unless you're a millennial, right? Because you grew up, you were shitting in your diaper when you saw episode 1, and you had the Clone Wars when you were 10, and now you got spoiled with the sequels, and you're still bitching and complaining.
Oh,
look,
hey,
when
Chris, I hate to cut you off, but we have a special guest that wants to give us his opinion on the Book of Boba Fett. Mr. Mark Thrasher, what is up, man?
What's going on, brothers?
How are things in Baltimore, man? We got Cleveland, Baltimore, and Chicago going on right now.
Well, I can tell you this, man. It's going real well tonight.
Nice. What you drinking, pal?
Oh man, it's an unbelievable beer. I'm at the Black Forest Tap House right here in Harford County, and man, it's unbelievable.
Mark, the last time I saw you, last time I saw you, we were in line at Celebration, but the time before that, we were cheers into 11:38. It's 7:59 p.m. Central Time, brother.
Yeah. I'm learning how to work this phone, but I tell you what.
Group cheers, man. Woo.
Hey,
Group cheers.
I have water.
Get that water. Get that water, Steve.
Hey, it's good to see you guys again. Yeah, cheers, 11:38, man.
Cheers.
You gotta do that
man.
again.
All right, so and Mark, as usual,
Yeah.
just get your plane ticket and a celebration ticket. You got a free place to stay in Anaheim, obviously. You know where to land.
Mark, you got to come out for Celebration. You have to.
Yeah, I'm gonna try, man. It's coming close. It's coming close, and then we got.
Do or do not. There is no try.
I was waiting for it.
That's exactly right. That is exactly right. Oh my God.
All right, so I know you're busy. We were texting. This is an awesome surprise. So what are your thoughts on the Book of Boba Fett?
Wow. Well, first I know that there's going to be a release of Obi-Wan Kenobi, and congratulations, Chris. That's going to be on your birthday.
Yeah, amen to that.
Is that right?
Cheers. Yes,
Yep.
that's right. Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers to
All right,
that.
so the Book of Boba. The Book of Boba. All right, so it was great. I really liked it, and I wasn't sure that I was going to like it. I wasn't expecting much, but I liked the Mandalorian. I thought that was, awesome to watch. So last night, though, or actually, I didn't watch this week's episode until last night because I was really busy at work. But I was blown away, man. The action, the Rancor, and there was a lot of stuff going on that I was just like, okay.
Oh, he's
Nice.
breaking up.
Say he's in a crappy corner of the bar apparently.
Oh,
Gotta
that's
get
what
closer
happened.
to that Wi-Fi box.
Well, yeah, I think to add to Mark's comment, yeah, the action. I think this was the most action-packed episode of all the Book of Boba Fett episodes.
Yeah. Oh, by
yeah.
far.
Oh yeah.
You know,
And you can't. I mean, dude, the Rancor. Like, I understand. Like, I mean, even I was like the tiniest bit let down by the the season finale because of the setup of the two previous episodes. So that's natural. But, dude, when you've got a Rancor running around kicking ass, like, that is amazing. And again, I don't know if I was the only one, but I kept waiting for Boba to be like, Roxy, and just, do this, that, and like actually have them name it Roxy after the Belgian, the Belgian guys that come to Celebration with Roxy the Rancor.
Roxy the Rancor. Yes,
I was waiting
Yep.
to see if they recognized the Belgian, model maker guys. Whatever.
Well, I will say that the one thing that I was waiting for was the Rancor to eat somebody, and
Yes,
he
and-
finally did. He finally,
Yep, I was the same way. Yep.
and the funny thing is, the Rancor had the feet hanging out of the mouth for one moment where he turned almost to the camera, and
So good.
Back to my point before Mark jumped in, and it was so good to see Mark. I haven't seen Mark since a Celebration quite a few years ago.
Love that guy.
But, back in the early 90s when I was reading this Timothy Zahn trilogy, and the Dark Horse comics, just waiting and hoping and praying for a Star Wars movie or TV show. The fact that I'm getting this 30 years later. See, that's the thing. 30 years. I've been in this fight. Kind of sound like Andor here. I've been in this fight since I was 7 years old.
He's so close.
I got to tell you, man, to finally to stick with it all this long, to be a Star Wars fan and stick with it all through the ups and the downs. And there's been downs. But to finally get the payoff of The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett, I cannot complain because it's what I dreamt of in the early 90s when I rediscovered Star Wars.
Yeah, it's man. look
Did
at
he
this.
inch
Thrasher.
closer to the Wi-Fi?
Let's see. I don't know.
Mark's
Apparently
coming back.
not.
Don't seem like it.
Apparently not. Damn it, Mark. Damn it.
Turn on the 4G and try again, man.
And
Quit using AT&T, man.
Help me out with that still quote. The dark rises and the light to meet it.
Yeah,
Mark
yeah.
Thrasher, where are you?
Oh my God, Thrasher. If you get home, tune in when you're at home, dude. Let's do that. Yeah. It's let's see. Is he back? Are you finally back, dude? What kind of Wi-Fi you guys have in Baltimore? It's
Really bad, apparently.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
pretty
you're
bad.
frozen up again, man. Thrasher, go drink beer, and when you get home, if we're still on, just click the link, and if I see you, I will pull you into the show. And by the way, screw the Ravens, go Browns.
I was going to say, that Wi-Fi is about as sturdy as Lamar Jackson's ankles. Jesus.
That's awesome.
So somebody chimes in proof that the vaccinations don't contain 5G technology.
Yep, Kale. Oh, that is awesome. Oh my God.
Say, wait
Yeah.
a minute. You guys know about the Ravens and the Browns. So, wait a minute. Did I hear this right? Because you guys know I'm a baseball junkie, but I don't really care about football. Who's in the Super Bowl? Come on, John. You know who's in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I know who's in the Super Bowl. Yeah. That's not what we
I was
do.
wondering why you were taking so long
Well,
with that.
that was the move because I did not mean that. As a
We're not
joke.
talking about that because here in Cleveland, we either have to root for Odell Beckham Jr. or the damn Cincinnati Bungles, okay? And let me just
That's
remind
Chinese to
people,
me.
let me remind people, the Bengals might be in the Super Bowl, but since they drafted Joe Burrow, they are 0-4 against the mighty Cleveland Browns. So up yours, Cincinnati. By the way, we have another special guest chiming in, the Vandalorian himself, Mr. Sean Hines. What is up, man?
What's poppin', Daddy-O's? How y'all doing tonight?
What's going
What's
on,
going
man?
I
on, dude?
couldn't stay on the sidelines anymore. I had to jump in.
Hey,
Looking
man.
great, man. Looking great. Did you
Yeah,
have
I'm-
some
I'm
work
gonna- I'm
done?
gonna- since we're talking about the Book of Boba Fett, I got to do what happens all the time. There we go. Now we're okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Now you can't be a Mando anymore, apparently. Even
Right.
if you,
Yes. Yeah.
even if you have the dark saber, which I'm glad you did that because that segues into my next question for everybody. How in the hell can the armorer? Is that the character's name?
The armor.
I
Yeah.
do believe so, yeah.
Yep.
How the hell could she say you're a Mando no more when dude's got the dark saber? I'd be like, bitch, I'm gonna cut your head off. like I got the.
Oh, there's
dark
a story
saber.
there. That has got to be answered in season 3.
Oh.
Who is
Well,
she?
No, I think
Who
because
is
he took
she?
his helmet off. That was like the number one sin of the Mandalore was taking your helmet off. Like I don't
Well-
care what sword you got in your hand. You took your helmet off, you're expelled from the Mandalorian order.
Right. Sean, you got a fan? Our buddy Kale McLeish says, "I want that helmet."
Yes,
Sean,
I get a lot of people that say that.
Sean makes them, Kale. You can order one from him. He makes them custom. You can buy
Sean,
one
I
from
think
him.
you should do the Kevin Lyle here, man. I think you should capitalize on
Yeah.
your creativity, man. And
Here-
Sean, you don't steal from other people.
Yeah.
You
No, that's not my MO.
Yeah.
I'm an idea man. Things just keep popping. You know what I mean?
Hey, Thrasher's checking in again. He says, "Sorry, guys. Book of Boba is awesome. I'm a big fan of any scenes on Tatooine. Totally loved it. And nice helmet." So there you go.
See, he paid for enough minutes to send a couple more messages. Before.
He just re-upped his track phone.
Yeah, anytime we're on Tatooine, that's always a good time, which is what I always felt Galaxy's Edge should have been based on.
Well, okay. I mean, that's a whole nother conversation because I see a lot of people doing that, but it's like, I can refute that easily for a quick second. If they used established characters, the very first thing, I mean, this is the point you made earlier, Sean, or excuse me, Chris. The first thing people that doesn't look like Han Solo. That's not how Luke Skywalker acts. That's not Princess Leia. Instead of being like, holy crap, I'm living in a world of Star Wars. People would. So they had to use the sequel stuff because it's new, it's fresh. They can kind of mess with it a little bit. They got a little bit of creative license.
I can refute that with the world of Harry Potter.
Okay.
That's true.
I don't have to say anything more than that.
No, you don't, because this is not a Harry Potter show.
Not this week.
Join us on another Friday. We could talk Potter anytime.
Actually, yeah, we're a full-on nerd.
Not
podcast
tonight.
now. Yeah, we could totally talk
No,
Potter.
the point is, it immerses you in the world of the movies, which is what, and I get what they were going for, but it just you're shortchanging yourself being relegated to just that.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, like I said, I cannot stress enough why people are complaining about Star Wars.
Dude,
Why would you, it's like, yeah, why the fuck would you want to complain about what we just saw? We're lucky we got it.
Yep.
We are so lucky that we got it because in 2005, George Lucas said, I'm done. I'm done. And Rick McCallum said, at the rate that George is spending money, he's not done. But he was hurting for money so much, he sold it to Disney. Thank God Disney bought it, because if Disney wouldn't have bought it, George would have never went on to release anything. I don't think, because I think as one person as creative as George is, it's just too much for his independent company, his independent mind. He needed something bigger to carry Star Wars on to the next level. And we're getting it, and we should be lucky, and we should eat our mashed potatoes, peas, and turkey with the gravy, without the gravy, and love it.
Well, I mean,
Wait, hold
I've made the point on the show a lot, Chris, and and I think AJ and Steve chime in on this if I'm wrong here, but I think you guys agree. I've said many times over that, as much as there may be things now that we're getting that you don't like, the fact that we're getting more Star Wars and it keeps expanding, the things that you may not like may lead to something that you do like. And the fact that, to your point, Chris, that's why I say it, at least you're getting Star Wars and there's consistent content all the time. Like I'm not a big fan of Rebels. A lot of people are, but there was some cool stuff that came out of it. I mean, the Inquisitor, there's Inquisitors in the Kenobi show by rumor. So that's cool. Like you never know what you're going to get. And it's amazing to have it because otherwise you'd have nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, Star Wars would be done. You'd be in the dark times again, between like, what was it, 85 and 99 or whatever the hell it was,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So it's,
And to further your point, like, okay, just because they're cranking out something that you don't like doesn't mean that it shouldn't exist for someone else to like.
yeah, exactly.
It's okay to like have your corner of the Star Wars and someone else like something else, and we can all, like at Celebration, we all come together because we all love Star Wars. So just because this isn't your corner of the Star Wars universe, that's fine. It's someone else's instead, and that is perfectly okay.
Yep. There's
If I may.
absolutely somebody out there, some idiot that loves Star Wars Rebels, or not Rebels, Resistance, and he sits at a table alone, but he loves it. So
Well,
No,
to Chris's point, there was
you said
comment
Star Wars
about-
idiot. How about Star Wars Visions? What happened to Star Wars Visions? Did you guys ever finish all those?
We did the first 5 episodes. We're going to
yeah.
have to do the last 4 in another episode.
yeah,
You're welcome
I think,
to come on.
Yeah, I think Age.
He jumped off. Your
AJ
host jumped off
and-
after we started talking about Star Wars Visions.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm out of
Yeah.
here. Out of here.
Star
I
Wars
think
Visions.
I think AJ and I consumed enough of it that night to at least watch the rest of the episodes, and Lord knows we shit on the majority of it that night too.
Yeah,
So-
I get the fact that people are shitting on Star Wars Visions, but why they're shitting on Book of Boba Fett or the sequels for that matter, 7, 8, 9, it baffles my mind, and it always will.
Well, to help
I'm
maybe to
grateful.
clear it up for you, people will always complain. I think what's getting confused a lot. People are always complaining and are being perceived as complaining, and you got people complaining about the complaining, and then the complaints about the complaints of the complaints. But sometimes
Yep.
what you're failing to realize is it's not necessarily complaints, and it's not that we're not appreciative that we're getting more Star Wars. I'm happy to get as much Star Wars as we can get. That's just what we are as Star Wars freaks. But you're confusing criticism or critiquing for complaining, because not everything is going to be perfect. Not everything is going to be I mean, some people just want to love everything that's got a Star Wars stamp on it, and if you criticize it, you're not a real fan. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Not everything is going to be everybody's cup of tea, whether it be Visions or Resistance or whatever. Nothing doesn't mean we're not thankful for Star Wars. People say, "Oh, if you don't like it, don't watch it." Duh, I've been watching Star Wars since '77. I'm not going to stop now.
Right,
You know?
right.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Since we're talking about critiquing and complaining, who's got a worse haircut, Sean or I?
This is my helmet head.
Sean, Sean, you got to shave that fucking head, my friend.
Nobody
Am I
wants
the
to
only?
hear it.
Put a
Am I
head
the
on
only one? Am I the only one on this show with a vibrant, lush head of hair?
You might be.
Look at
Yeah.
those luxurious curls.
Hey,
Look at those
Hey,
curls.
AJ, let me see that. AJ, let me see that hair. That fuck you got there.
How many
Yeah.
bald spots? How many bald
Fuga.
spots do we have?
Fuga.
Enough.
Oh, yeah.
There's a
too
reason-
many of them.
There's a
Oh
reason why
my
I had to get
God.
rid of the mohawk, because I had 3 of them on the top of my head because of the fucking bald spots. So,
Oh my God, that's phenomenal.
hey,
All right,
the
so-
mohawk was great for the time it lasted, though. All right.
Dude, it lasted since like 97 when I met you, dude. It lasted forever. All right, so getting back on topic here, since we're talking about complaining, I do have, this isn't necessarily a complaint, but I think it would probably be a popular complaint among people who enjoyed the show. We finally get live action Cad Bane,
Yes.
and they kill him
Well,
in like in one episode. What were your guys' thoughts? Because when that happened, I went, "Oh, please tell me they're gonna pull the whole like Darth Maul. He actually survived being cut in half shit, and like we can get more Cad Bane." Because like I don't know about you guys, but when he came on the screen in episode 6, and you saw him way off in the distance, and when just on the screen enough to see the hat, I'm sitting there next to Steph going, "It's Cad goddamn Bane, Cad goddamn Bane, Cad goddamn Bane," and she's like, "Is that this guy's middle name? Goddamn!" I said, "You're fucking right, it is. It's Cad goddamn Bane." And then he showed up on screen. I was like, "Oh my god, it's Cad goddamn Bane!" And I was so excited. And people were bitching, "He's not skinny enough to be a Duros." And I'm like, "Dude, it's a human in the costume. What do you want?" Like you have to have someone with an eating disorder to get that skinny. Like you don't do that.
Yeah, I saw that. I thought now we're really pushing the limits of complaining.
I thought the same thing. But once we got him, I couldn't believe that they killed him off. Like I can't say it's a complaint because I get it.
But
like
did
people.
you know what?
Well, exactly, Sean. Exactly.
You know what? You guys are starting. People that are complaining about Star Wars are starting to sound like Cubs fans in 2017. The Cubs won the World Series in 2016. Sorry, John. Don't.
Should have known that was coming. Should have known that was coming.
Don't remove.
But I'm
Gone.
gonna tell you, Cubs fans complain. I hate Cubs fans for complaining in 2017. People should not complain about Cad Bane or the fact that Cad Bane died because Boba Fett killed him. And if you watch the unreleased animation element of Boba fighting Cad, it makes sense that Boba killed Cad Bane. And doesn't it tell you? People are bitching and complaining, "Oh, Boba Fett's not tough enough. Oh, Boba Fett's not hard enough." He killed Cad Bane, for Christ's sake.
Exactly.
When
Yeah,
Cad Bane
after
had him to the ground,
7
going, "Oh, you're
episodes
weak,
of
you're
doing
an
nothing."
man." Oh, it was beautiful.
Sean.
Poetry.
Look at Sean.
Ooh,
Uh,
Vandalorian, man, we love you, dude, but
Listen,
Banhammer gonna come down on you for talking
If
like
we're going to
that.
talk about him being
Banhammer, nice.
all right, let's sum it up. Let's add it up. What action did we see Boba do? He fought the space ninjas, right? Then he fought Chrysanthemum. Then what? Then the battle against Cad Bane, and then alongside Din Djarin over the course of the whole series. That's how much fighting you actually saw Boba Fett do.
Well,
And then
what did
the-
you
the
want
bar-
though? I mean,
Yeah, what did you want? He just rised from the dead, for Christ's sakes.
you can't you can't just have a show where, "Hey, I'm Boba Fett, check me out, I'm going to go out here and kick ass the whole show." Like you can't have like 7 hours of him just whooping ass on everything. Like he walks down the street like to order some food, and all of a sudden he's ninja kicking doors and shooting shit and jetpacking everywhere. Like
Well,
you know,
wanted
Sounds like a
everybody's
South
respect.
Park episode,
He wanted
really
to
would be.
He wanted to rule with respect, but he kept getting his butt kicked. So it was a little disheartening. But that being said, it doesn't mean I didn't like the show. Like I said, just because it didn't.
But he
live
never gave
to
up.
what I
He
was
had his butt
expecting.
kicked, but he never gave up. He never gave up, and I think that's
No,
more.
I still liked where the show took me. I like where the show took me. I enjoyed what it was overall. Because it wasn't what I was hoping for and expecting doesn't mean I didn't like the show or the way they developed the character. Back to Cad Bane real quick. If Fennec Shan could take a laser shot to the gut and survive, I think Cad Bane could survive a gaffy stick to the gut.
yeah, they can totally pull the whole he lived thing.
I thought
Yeah.
about that too. I was like,
Yeah.
he pulls the stick out, and then they never like go back to that again. So I'm like, he could very. They said that the marshal got killed in cold blood, and then he's in the back of the tank in the
Yeah.
after credit scene. So, and if that's one thing we learned about Star Wars, nobody's really dead until
Nobody's ever really gone.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
I don't want to get blocked for complaining, but I think that Star Wars is starting to have a problem with that. Like, no one's ever dead. Like, someone's got to die and stay dead finally. It's like a pro wrestling retirement. It doesn't count for shit.
Well, that's what
Like,
Rogue One was
okay,
on.
Darth Maul gets cut in half and he comes back. And Orn Free-Taa gets shot in the head and he comes back. Cobb
Yeah.
Vanth gets shot in cold blood. He comes back.
Yes, yes.
like someone's gotta die. There's no stakes. Now we're just expecting it. Anytime we see someone die, unless you actually see them get burned on a funeral pyre, we're just like, give it a season. They'll be back.
Yeah.
Check this out. So Cale McLeish, Timothy Oliphant is RoboCop.
Yeah, exactly.
Cale, that's one of your best ones ever, man. Oh, and here's another one. So here's another thing that pissed me off. And Slave 1 versus Sarlacc, that was awesome. Cale is basically running down things where Boba was fighting. Can we just all agree? And I don't want to get into like this is not
You
gonna
are
be political.
correct.
Dude, why did they have to change it to fire spray? Like this whole Slave 1 thing, we can't call it like, dude, fuck that. Like, come
Yeah,
on.
right.
Like,
100%.
seriously?
No, Slave
Like,
One
I
forever, man.
Yeah. So
I've stopped. I told Chris this. I've stopped buying the ship because as long as it doesn't say, if I won't buy it if it doesn't say Slave One.
now,
I'm-
is that the reason you don't buy it, or is the reason you finally ran out of room in your trailer? That track, your
the wife might be
semi-trailer.
listening. The wife might be listening.
So I would like to bring something else up, by the way. While people are busy complaining about the Book of Boba Fett, I don't think it's been talked about enough that we got Danny fucking Trejo in Star Wars, man.
Yeah.
And not
I
only did we
was-
get Danny fucking Trejo, but he was a Rancor Wrangler, dude.
I was looking for a way to shoehorn that in when you were talking about the Rancor. I was like, oh my God, how great was
That
Seven. I was
Yeah.
really expecting
And
to
where
see him
was he in the
finale.
finale, though? That would have been awesome to see Machete kicking ass with everybody else.
Yeah, right?
Machete.
Yes, for sure.
I call him the Chief. You know, he likes to refer to himself in the third person. Confuses the bitches. There's a fanboys reference for all y'all out there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I mean, we got that. I mean, just having a Rancor, like when they pulled that Rancor around the corner, weren't you like, holy shit? Like, oh my God, it's a goddamn Rancor. And not
Daddy's
only
got a
that,
new pet.
exactly. And here's another thing that doesn't get mentioned nearly enough. Like, no one's mentioning this. After years and years of the worst Jabba the Hutt voice imaginable in everything they've done since Return of the Jedi, they finally almost nailed a Jabba the Hutt voice for a Hutt. Finally!
Actually,
in the Book of
speaking
Boba Fett.
Huttese. Yeah,
Yes!
actually,
Yeah,
Huttese.
Yeah, I'm like, where was that voice? You know, the special editions and all this stuff. Like, every time they try and do Jabba, it's like, they're like, what is this Kermit the Frog crap? Like, what the fuck is that? That's not Jabba. And we finally
the
get
sassy
it.
lady on the Clone Wars, the sassy Hutt on the Clone Wars.
Oh, no, it's the AJ. Sean, have
I
you
was
ever heard
gonna
this? AJ,
AJ's got
you're
to put
on.
it in, you know?
AJ could do Zero the Hutt. AJ, please introduce the show to Zero the Hutt.
Well, hello there. My name is Zero the Hutt. And if you don't like it, then you can just strut right up my butt.
So good.
Somebody get Zero a bowl of jambalaya. She sounds upset.
Right? AJ does that so well. Oh my God. Oh, that character's the worst. Yeah, like there's so much to like about this show. And I feel like all the things that you're into are being overlooked because of the fact that we had Luke and Grogu and the Mando stuff in it, and I understand that people are like, oh, now I'm focused on that. But it cannot take away from the fact that, we had Danny Trejo, we had a Rancor. They managed to, I mean, for Christ's sakes, they humanized Tusken Raiders, for Christ's sakes. Like, how do you manage that? Right. We got to see how a gaffy stick is actually made. Like, I mean, for Star Wars nerds, we got so much incredible stuff in this show, and no one is talking about it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like you guys brought it up earlier. There's this level from the fandom that, like, when you don't get the entire story, like, spoon-fed to you, you bitch about it. But then when they do insert these things into the timeline and give you a backstory and stuff on Boba Fett and those things you just said, John, people complain that, oh, well, that's just not the way Boba Fett is. So it's like, these guys are just pissed. I can't say most. The vocal minority of Star Wars fan idiots just kind of like ruin it for the rest of us.
Well, I think you could say that about a lot of things. I mean,
Absolutely.
Going back, John. I hate to bring this up, but going back to the Cubs winning the World Series, I feel like the Cubs fans bitched and complained the year after. And it's like Star Wars fans waited a lifetime for 7, 8, 9. And they bitched and complained about it. It's like, why are you bitching and complaining about something that we've really invested a lot of our heart and soul into? And we're finally getting it. And at the same point, why are we still not talking about, people are still talking about episode 1, 2, and 3, but why Rogue One? Why are people not? I know Steve's not talking about Rogue One right now, but why are people not still celebrating what we just had the best of? It's like, there should be a little bit more longevity in this stuff. The Mandalorian, the Book of Boba Fett, Rogue One, the sequels,
Solo.
for Christ's sakes. We've waited so fucking long. I remember when I was 10 years old, younger than 10 years old, my mom reading a Time Life magazine to me, George Lucas wants to make 9 movies. It's probably 1983. And we finally got him all these years later. Why not fucking celebrate that for another 30 years, man? Like we did the original trilogy.
Yep.
Why?
I mean, did any of us ever think we would see this? I mean,
No.
when you get the Mandalorian, like, I mean, remember how sky high our expectations were for the Mandalorian? And it wasn't because like, oh, this better be good. It was, oh my God, please be good. Like, I can't believe I get to have a Star Wars television show. It's like a movie, but it's like 8 to 10 hours long. Like, holy shit! And then it turned out to be amazing.
I had no expectations for the Mandalorian. I wanted it to be good, obviously, but I was super excited for it for obvious reasons. But I really didn't have any expectations. Why? Because it was new characters we didn't know we were about to learn about, playing in the sandbox of Star Wars that we grew up in, and exploring the galaxy like we've always wanted to. That's exactly what the show gave us, and that was amazing.
I think you're right. Expectations is probably not the right word to use, but I would say like how excited were we for it? That's probably better. It's like, instead of like what expectations did we have, it's like how excited were we to be like, holy crap, this is going to be like a movie, but it's like 8 or 10 hours long, like, and you're sitting there hoping that it's good because it's like something you've always wanted and you've been looking forward to forever. And you're like, oh my God, you're going into like, please don't suck, please don't suck, please don't suck. And then when it turned out to be amazing, you're like, oh my God. And then, so you can't wait for season 2. And then that comes along and is even better. And you're like, oh, what the? And then Book of Boba Fett comes along and that's great. I mean, like you say, like, I mean, Chris, like you said, like, what more can you ask for? I mean, you're getting more Star Wars, and it's good. It's not even shitty. It's like at this point, you now have confidence in the fact that when we see Kenobi, first of all, even if it's let's say, I hate to use this term, but subpar, follow me here, it's still going to be amazing because it's Ewan McGregor.
Yes.
I mean, we're going to love it because it's Ewan McGregor, and we've seen the concept art, so we know we're going to see stuff that originally you're thinking, well, it's just going to be a shitload of stuff on a desert and Tatooine. No, there's all kinds of crazy shit that he's been doing, and that's awesome. And Andor, to your point, Chris, like you and I are like probably the biggest Rogue One honks on the planet. Like you get more of Rogue One stuff, and now having seen what they've done with Mando and stuff, the quality that's coming.
Right. Honestly,
like, what is there to complain about?
Honestly, John, like my gripes, and not even real gripes with Rogue One, the fact that I always say I just never connected with the characters. I'm hoping to watch Andor and be able to go back and like have a totally different feeling about the character in Rogue One. Like that's like the best case scenario. Is that I could go back and watch Rogue One and not say, I don't really care about that guy anymore. So I mean,
right.
So there's.
I hope, Steve. I hope that does that for you.
Yeah, I mean,
the fact that you say that the characters didn't do anything for you, I can't comprehend that.
It's more
that
so
that
just
has,
the
that
fact
has been a running argument on our show, Chris.
Dude,
Like-
it's just because they're introduced and taken from you all within an hour and a half, and it's like I feel
Yeah,
like I
but
never had
that's the
time to
greatest-
connect
that-
with them, you know?
That's the
And
greatest thing about it is that they were giveth to you and they were taketh away.
Right?
Well,
I just
and
feel like
Chris-
the majority
think
of
of
the
it this
people
way,
I like in
Steve.
Star Wars, I just had time over the course of 40 years, you know, to say I
Right,
like
right,
this
yeah.
character. So it was just odd to have it like given to you and taken away so quickly. So I just never connected with the characters. That's all.
Well-
Loved the movie, just didn't connect with the characters.
Well, Steve, if you want, did you connect with Obi-Wan in A New Hope?
Not really.
No?
Not really. I was always I always liked the bad guys, so
Yeah,
I was
okay.
always
Steve-
more about the Empire at that point.
Steve is as dark side gets.
I guess that's the wrong character to pick. And let's just say, Luke, Han, or Leia, did you connect with any of those when you saw A New Hope?
No, because honestly, everything I got into Star Wars late enough that the trilogy was out on VHS
Oh, okay.
before I really got into it. So I was able to jump into 7 hours of movies instead of just
Okay.
looking at one
All right.
thing. So
And then my argument will follow collapsing on. So I was gonna say, what if Luke had died at the end of A New Hope? Would you have still felt like, well, I didn't have time to connect with that character? Because I think, there was plenty of time to connect with Luke in that one.
right.
You know, but I thought the characters were good in Rogue One. But you're right, there was no time
Yeah,
to
but
really.
Luke dying in A New. Okay, now you're just opening a whole big can of worms. Luke
I,
dying.
I
in
was
New
trying to
Hope?
make a point about how he couldn't connect with the characters of Rogue One. And they
Yeah,
all,
but I tell you right now, looking at the big picture, Luke in A New Hope versus all the characters in Rogue One, Luke is nobody.
Oh, for Christ's
The
sake!
characters in
somebody
Rogue
cut his mic.
One on a whole different level. I mean, all the way down to Melshi, for Christ's sakes. I mean, those
Now
characters
you're
are
just- now
alive.
you're just talking.
Wow!
All right.
Did you just compare Luke Skywalker to Melshi?
Yes.
Wow!
That's a
Look,
first.
man, Luke
That's
Skywalker matters less than Kitster, damn you.
Yeah, well, I didn't say Kitster. I said. No, but
That's
like,
probably
that
the
was-
first time that comparison's ever been made in
Wow.
Star Wars
And the
history.
only time.
Melshi in Rogue One is on a whole higher level than Luke in A New
Wow,
Hope.
man.
Melshi was like, the Master Switch, where is it? What are we looking for?
What are we
I'm gonna find
looking
it. I'm gonna
for?
die looking for it.
Dude, let's
No,
be
man,
honest.
Green Leader. That guy. Seriously, I actually felt for that guy. He was one of my favorite, new characters in that movie.
See, Chris, what we're going to do one time is me and you are going to do a WTF Friday, and it's just going to be me and you, and it's going to be a total stroke job for Rogue One.
Dude, I
Be like,
was,
wasn't this awesome?
Why am I
What about
cut
that?
out of that? I
Because I-
fucking love
I
that
don't-
movie. You know that.
All right, so Sean and Steve, you guys are kicked out for the next WTF Friday. It'll be Rogue One. Oh,
Hey,
AJ,
we're
AJ's
always
going,
in need of content, so go for whatever you need, man.
AJ's going for the minifigs. I might have to put him in solo layout, Han Solo layout, as we call it on our show.
It's all right. We were talking about the Slave One earlier, and I keep peeking over my shoulder, wondering if I should get the giant Lego Slave One out or not.
Fire spray, damn you!
So,
All right,
do you
Solo
want,
AJ, what do you
Plaque. That's not what the placard says.
so do you want Cassian here? You
Yeah,
got
there you
Cassian
go.
right there.
All right.
Or do you prefer the Shore Trooper? We love us some Shore Trooper, yeah?
Cassian for sure.
One of my favorite figures, though. I mean, as a Lego figure in general, this thing is just amazing. We're talking Jyn Erso herself.
Yes.
Come on, focus, focus. Focus.
She is loaded right there.
Yeah.
There we
Look
go.
at
Look at
that.
that. She got the coverall. She got the satchel. She's loaded. Yeah,
She is stocked.
dude. Rogue One is amazing. Love him.
Oh my god. All right, so AJ, let's get back to Book of Boba Fett since we were trying to do that for this episode and we've failed miserably so far.
No,
Not that it matters.
I think we tackled it pretty well. I think we tackled it pretty well.
Oh, I got
And
more.
It is WTF Friday. So AJ, do you have the videos of our predictions? Are we able to bring those up? Are you able to save them so that I can pull them up on the screen?
Yeah, they're all in Google Drive, actually. I just suck
See-
at working StreamYard, so if you want to call up a tab and do that, that'd be awesome.
Alrighty. So basically what we're doing here, guys, Sean and Chris. So each of us, recorded 3 videos, and it was 3 predictions for the season finale, and it was before we watched it, obviously. Otherwise, it wouldn't be worth a piss. And we want to see how accurate we were or weren't. Chris, you already got like a peek behind the scenes because I already told you that mine were absolutely miserable, drizzling shit.
Man, you want to talk about stroking things, John? You fucking the fact that I went full blown production value for fucking 60 seconds of video prediction.
Yeah. You tried way too hard, man.
I really did.
Oh my God.
You're that kid
All
in
right.
class that just wrecks the curve for everybody, Steve.
God damn it! I
Alrighty.
had to use that work somehow.
So AJ, I have yours and I have mine, but I do not have Steve's. So Steve, I guess it's just gonna be mine and AJ's.
No, mine are all in the drive. I know I put them there.
Yeah,
I
they're
have not
there.
seen them. No, they're not. I'm looking at it right now. So, all right. So let me save this to the computer, and I could bring up AJ's. So this is AJ's number 1. I'll do this. Chris and Sean, did you guys have any predictions? Like,
Look, John,
what
look
you would
in
think
the
would happen?
look in
Yes,
the folder first, John.
Steve, I'm trying to run a show here, please.
Yeah.
My prediction came true. My prediction was that Book of Boba Fett was a side story of the Mandalorian's bigger picture, and at the end, when they showed Mando, when they showed Din in the Starfighter, and they played the theme, I'm like, that's how I thought it was going to tie together. So my
Okay.
prediction was that they were going to morph the two together, and that's what they did at the last moment, very last moment of the show.
Okay.
Plus, one thing that goes very underappreciated about that Starfighter redesign, it does exonerate Homer Simpson. The Homer was a great design. You put the kids in the back in their own fucking bubble.
Now presenting
you know
the
what?
Homer. I'm ruined. What a great
That's a
reference.
27-year-old cut.
Wow. Yeah.
Alfie and I.
Yeah, I
actually
totally
gone back
forgot
and
about
forth,
that shit.
Oh.
I was-
Yeah, speaking of
Alfie and I
Alfie,
have gone back and forth with our predictions before the show aired, and I had a few. I had basically said somebody's gonna die. He's gonna ride the Rancor, and I even said, when they first introduced the Rancor, I'll bet you they won't let the Rancor eat anybody. He'll probably show him eat one person, and that's exactly what happened. Because
We should have had a prop bet on body counts for the Rancor, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. But other than that, I was just like, yeah, they're gonna. I knew the townspeople would show up. I said I knew somebody would die. I didn't think it would be like that. They would try to make it look like the marshal had died. But yeah, those were pretty much the top of what I had said.
Mine were not as prescient, we'll say.
Well,
They're not very good.
admittedly, you did say you were having a really tough time trying to figure out what the hell
Yeah,
you wanted to say. So
I was just so excited to see the finale. I was like, I wasn't thinking ahead. I'm like, I just want it to be kick ass. And I really couldn't come up with stuff. And so I finally started thinking about it. I'm like, all right.
I did say I thought they'd end on a cliffhanger. That did not happen.
I thought this. I did not do
Surprising.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I did. I did not. I didn't. Man, I don't know. I didn't think it would end on a cliffhanger, but I didn't think it would be that direct of an ending. It was very much, especially because we know, there's supposed to be a second season, right? So
Have they ever really said that officially?
I thought they did. I thought I saw that there's going to be another season. And it's like, so I'm like, well, wait a minute. If there's another season, this is pretty much like, so now what is it? Like just Boba going out to lunch? He's like building affordable,
pretty much.
affordable housing in Mos Eisley for, low income, Tatooine residents or something like.
Well, you know what it is.
what
You know
is
what it is. We've been conditioned by the world of Marvel movies that to expect some kind of teaser cliffhanger at the end of everything.
Yeah.
yep.
Well,
yep.
and the end of season 2 of The Mandalorian.
Correct.
Yeah. All right. So these videos are not uploading very well, but I did get one of AJ's to upload. So let's review this one. This is AJ's second prediction, but to all of us, it's the first one. So let's see what AJ had to say about what might happen in the finale of the Book of Boba
Nothing
Fett?
good. I predict that the battle between Boba Fett and the Pikes for control of Tatooine will not be resolved in this episode.
They will not be resolved.
Did you really?
Yeah, I was wrong
did you
on that
really-
one.
Did you really do that? That was like the most generic shit ever. And by the way, what's the what is? I believe that what's going to happen is what the hell is that?
That's the
That was boring as shit, dude.
It was the middle of the fucking workday, okay? I just had to get my fucking face on a camera and say what I thought, okay?
All right, but anyway, so obviously you were very wrong. I have to admit though, like even in hindsight, like and let me get your guys' opinion on this. I don't think that was such a bad prediction because one of mine has to do with that as well, and I'm trying to remember which one it is because I'll see if one of mine will upload. But I had something similar. So Sean and Chris and Steve, what do you guys think of that one? Do you think it's that far-fetched that AJ brought that up? Because I don't.
No, I don't at all. No.
and I don't. I'm not 100% sure it's resolved.
Thank you.
That's true.
Yep.
Do they
I gotta
really
assume
give
the
us
Hutts
that
are gonna
easily?
come back in season 2.
Well, yeah. Why would you bring the Hutts in, and then not like do anything
that
more with them?
That seemed like a big miss. Like, oh, well, here the twins are here. Hey, this is our crap. This is our shit. You can't just walk in and take our shit. Next episode, my bad. You can have it.
Yeah. In fact, take the
Yeah,
Wookiee
right.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Yeah, boy, dude, Chrysanthemum. There's something we haven't touched on. How awesome was it to see steroid rage Chewbacca?
That was awesome. That was
Yeah,
awesome.
Dude.
I remember when I was watching that. Was it in the finale or the one before? I'm like, no, they can't kill him.
It was
then
the
he came
finale.
back with
Yep.
it was the boss.
He got beat to hell in the finale. I thought he was a
Yeah.
goner.
he
He got
did.
in the finale, but he came back, and it was like he was still alive. You know, still alive.
I was expecting him to tear an arm off in every scene he was in.
All right.
Dude, actually, based on so he's from the comics in 2015. He's not a new character. He's just new to live action. And based on some of the stories and stuff that he did, because he actually partnered with Boba previously, this is actually a toned down version of him. He was basically like Hulk in Thor Ragnarok. Like he was the gladiator of all gladiators. He was murdering people, no problem. And not because he had to, just because he wanted to. Like he was a friggin' psycho in the comics.
Right, he
So
got expelled
this is actually
from,
like the PG version of Black Chrysanthemum.
like he got expelled from the Wookiee Order because of his lust for you know.
Something like that. Yeah, like he was exiled from the planet for being crazy.
Yeah.
Like I want to go back and read the comics now based on like what I found out one from the show and then two what I heard of his backstory. I'm like, "Oh, I got to read that." Yeah.
I just know that when I saw that, I was like, "Holy shit, we got another Wookiee!" And I'm thinking, okay, well, so that guy's not gonna die. And then when they started whooping his ass in the final episode, I was like, "Oh, wait a minute, are they really gonna do this?"
Yeah, you're like, hold up. What's
yeah,
going on
I
here?
was like, "Oh my god!" Like there, but when he went down and he was under the pile of people, I looked at my wife and I was like, "He ain't dead. Like they got to bring him back. You can't just have if you're gonna bring in like a Wookiee like that." You're not just gonna have his ending be like, "Oh, I'm getting buried I'm getting buried.
I know.
Oh,
I was
I'm
so
dead."
Mad.
Like,
I was
it's
so
not
mad
happening.
when
It
they
ain't
cut-
happening.
When they cut away from that scene, I was so mad. I was like, "No, I want to see the Neo like kicking off all the agents. I want to see Chrysanthemum do that with all the Trandosans."
Right? Yeah, it's like that's one thing we can at least count on Star Wars for, with the exception of one glaring exception. Pretty much, if you have a character that anybody gives a damn about, you're not just going to have a super lame death. You know, the exception being Darth Maul in Rebels, which is the worst, like the worst.
Oh, I thought
fucking
you were
thing
going to say General Hux in Rise of Skywalker.
It's on
AJ,
the
you
list.
and your
That
Hux,
one's near the top.
you and your Hux, man. Oh my god.
By the way, Chris, how you doing on the bottle?
I am doing good. I am.
Have you
more
lost
than
count?
comfortable.
Yeah,
Right now, I'm actually putting a bid on a Slave One vintage. It's got the sticker sheet unapplied.
That's a that's a fire spray.
Yeah, fire spray, Chris, please. We're PC here. Fire spray.
This, my friend, is an original Kenner vintage Slave One. They're asking $1,400 for this thing. I just put an offer in on $300. I doubt they're gonna accept, but hey, you gotta shoot low, right?
Well, it's like $1,400 or best offer. So basically,
$5.
Yeah, Chris
Yeah.
is like, I'll give you $25 and a Quinlan Voss on a dented card.
Yeah, Quinlan Voss. Yeah. Exactly.
All of a sudden, the guy comes back and goes, sold. And you're like, what the fuck am I getting in this box?
Right.
Hey, Chris, offer him one of your empty display boxes.
Empty display boxes.
That is phenomenal.
At the grab bag.
My store displays. Yes, my store displays. Yes, I should offer that.
That's a story for another time.
Yeah, that is a story for another time.
By the way, Chris, I do have to thank you on air for the amazing gift that I got from winning the Patreon draw on Mocktails from the Cantina.
Yes.
I have the vial of Tatooine sand. Stephen H. I don't know if I told you this, but I actually won the random drawing. I tuned in live to Mocktails from the Cantina a couple months ago, and Chris draws a Patreon member at random, and he's got a gift bag that he mails out. But you have to be watching live, and I was. And part of the gift bag was a vial of sand from the Lars homestead in Tunisia, and I have it sitting right at the foot of my Rancor, my Kenner Rancor.
That's awesome.
It's like in the place of honor. The Rancor is my place of honor. Yeah. Oh my God. So thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Thank you for your support, man. You've been supporting me for a long time.
Anytime.
And, I can't. I cannot not. I am looking forward to us joining forces and collaborating in Anaheim.
That is
you and AJ at a brewery. We're gonna do a live show, and we'll give away some sand there too.
Dude.
But not
I just
Steve.
hope that. Yeah, not Steve.
I'm sorry,
Steve can't be
not
bothered.
Steve.
Not Steve, because he does not like Rogue One. That is the reason why.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
He doesn't
That's
like
the reason
Celebration either. So, all right. So I'm still trying to upload these other videos. So
Chris, we could set up our own homestead at where we're staying and create our own bar and do a mocktail there.
We are going to do a live show from the homestead where we're staying at, but I thought it would be kind of fun to venture out and go into public, kind of create a relationship with another local entity and, bring some business into their place and do something on location, if you will.
We'll do our own podcast with blackjack and hookers.
Blackjack, hookers, crack,
See, guys, Chris, I don't think you really understand what you're getting into with AJ and I at Celebration. That is definitely.
You've warned me. You've warned me before, man. That's why I wanted to have you guys as part of my experience, because you guys have warned me, not threatened me, but warned me. And I'm like, you know what? It's like Kiss and Van Halen on the road in 1983. Why not have a party of it,
Dude, Sean saw a little bit of it when we met him at what's it called, Brando's in Chicago there?
Yeah.
That what?
Formerly Forcella.
Oh, and we got there.
I don't remember it. I'll be honest.
Yeah, dude,
Did you black out, AJ? Did you have a blackout?
Well, yeah.
I'm good for that. I have
did.
so many fewer Celebration memories than John because I always black out.
Well, because
I never party out, but I do black out.
We literally get there at 6:00 to make sure we're a couple hours ahead of time. We're like, all right, it's a bar. All bars have food. We hadn't eaten. We get in there, and the bar has no food.
That's the problem. I ran into that same situation.
Yep.
You don't eat, you drink too much, you wake up feeling like the fucking Rancor tore you in half.
Well, here's the thing. Like we weren't about to leave because the place was starting to get packed out. So we're like, we can't leave. We're already in. So we're like, well, and literally we looked at each other. AJ and I literally said to each other, well, we might as well drink heavy beers because that'll at least fill us up and kind of be like food. So we're drinking beer all night. And then, of course, my stupid ass, like, we should do shots. So, of course, then that starts getting going.
Oh, my God.
And all of a sudden, the party is fucking rolling. And then, of course, we are up until like 3 a.m. We took Spencer and Craig and all those guys. Like, we took them to our hotel room. We ended, yeah, dude. Sean, were you with us when we ended up at some random hotel party? And it was okay. Everybody, take your pants off, and we're literally standing there.
I missed out on the pants party.
Yes, we literally
no pants party.
No pants.
It was. We're like, who the hell are
New
these
Zealanders
people?
are crazy, man. It wasn't our idea.
Yeah, we were like, fuck this, let's go. Like it's so we go to this hotel party, and we had a handle in our room, so we stopped and grabbed this handle. So we bring the damn handle with us, and then we get in the hotel room, and the guy who's hosting the party is all these people like, let's everybody just hang out in our underwear, like from the bottom down. And I'm like, yeah, that's a good idea. So we all start stripping out of our jeans and shit, and we're hanging out for maybe 2 or 3 minutes. We're passing the bottle around, just getting more and more trash.
Were there any chicks at this party?
Oh, yeah. This was not a sausage party.
No, there were like 3.
Yeah. Which
there was like 20 guys, but
I was say 3 and 28
20
guys.
guys and 3 ladies. That sounds like a dangerous.
The hotel mates that are checking in on you to make sure you're not dead don't count.
Exactly. But so it literally was like 2 or 3 minutes. We're passing the bottle around. We're slamming beers. It was Spencer and John and Alan, and these guys are like, holy shit! Like the guys that set up Force Cellar, we just like AJ and I like we managed to suck people into our vortex. Like we're just gonna go wreak havoc, And it's maybe 2 or 3 minutes, and then all of a sudden we hear this knock on the door, the really thunderous knock, and we're like, oh god! We look, and it's another Star Wars fan. They come bolting in the room and they holler at the guy running the party like, dude, the cops are here. Bunch of people complained, and then they heard something about no pants. And we're all like, oh, shit, put your pants on. Let's go. So we throw our pants on, have to run out the door with our booze in our hand, and then we're trying to figure out which elevator the cops might be coming up.
Dude, it was like an outtake from a Porky's movie. It was ridiculous.
I'm telling you.
I don't know if I want to hang out with you guys at Celebration.
You will have a blast. You will go on Machtails From The Cantina, and you'll be like, I had the dumbest, most fun time of my entire life at Celebration with those idiots from the Nerf Herder Council.
That sounds like a great episode of Mocktails, Chris. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
the fact that there's
experience for sure.
The fact that there's a story that lives in infamy of Ray Park not being able to do his show the next day properly because of John and AJ.
Yeah, that's right. I remember hearing about this, and this was in Chicago too. Yes.
No, it was actually in Anaheim. We were at the hotel bar.
Anaheim.
Yeah, we were at the hotel bar, and I was drinking, and all of a sudden I look over, and Ray Park's over there, and he's just blasting shots. And I walked over. I'm like, hey man, can I get a picture? Real quick. I mean, he goes, fuck you, man. I was like, oh. He goes, no, just kidding, jump in here. And I was like, can I buy you a shot? And he goes, fuck you, I'm buying you a shot. So then we end up drinking shots with him, and Ray Park ended up like, ass face wasted. And the next day I go to his panel, and he's doing his moves, and he literally says on the mic, he goes, man, this is a lot easier to do when you're not hungover. I was like, ooh, that's my fault. I did that. That's me.
John stands up going, shot.
Yeah. What does the fox say? Shot. All right, so off of Celebration Stories, AJ, I got one of them to upload. So this is AJ's third prediction, but on the show it's the number 2 prediction. So let's see what AJ predicted again for the season finale of the Book of Boba Fett.
There was an unproduced story arc for what would have been the 8th season of the Clone Wars animated series that would have shown Cad Bane and Boba Fett. Basically, Cad Bane training Boba Fett as an adolescent. While that was unproduced, I think that the events of that story arc will be referenced in this episode as canon.
Wow, okay. Well, Obviously, that didn't even come close to happening, but that would have been pretty cool, though, because then all of a sudden you
Wrong.
bring, like,
It totally did. It
I
totally
think it did
did.
come close, actually.
Oh, did it?
If you think about when he's talking before their shootout, he's like, or even when he had Boba Fett on the ground, he makes a comment like, "This isn't the first time I beat you on a job." That could have been a reference to it. And
Okay.
It also
he
says like
called
one final lesson. Like
right, yes.
Oh.
He had other lessons.
And then
Okay.
when he flips Cad Bane on his back and his hat comes off, you see the metal plate that everybody says when they saw the metal plate on his head in the Bad Batch that could have been caused by when Boba shot him in the unproduced episode of Clone Wars.
Right, and that's
Okay.
allegedly also where the dent in Boba's helmet came from.
Correct. Yes.
It was like
Right,
a
right.
yeah, it was a draw of a battle basically.
It might not have been a direct reference, but it could have been an offshoot reference, or
Yeah.
draw your own conclusion
Mhm.
reference.
Wow. Okay, I didn't think about that. I did. All right. So AJ, you were kind of close on that one then. All right. I did not know that was an
By the
arc.
way, JT, all you got to do is double click on the things in Google Drive and they'll open up. That's all you got to do, man. I don't
Well,
know why
I know
you're
that.
downloading and uploading and stuff.
Because I have to download them to StreamYard to get them to play, shitheel.
You
Shit,
could
deal,
just
that's a new one.
share a Google tab, dude.
Well, then why don't you do it, smartass? The Christmas story. Well, go on and
Go
do
on,
it,
smartass,
smartass.
and do it.
There it is. Sean, thank you so much for backing me up on that, man. See now, Sean, you and I can do our own episode just espousing the incredible greatness that is A Christmas Story.
What does it look like I'm doing? Picking goobers?
Picking goobers. All right, here's my terrible take. All right, let's see. So if it
Maybe.
works, see AJ, I told you got to download it as a video. Oh my lord.
It's beautiful.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Should I
It's
just
It's Max Headroom.
should I just imitate myself on all my own faces as it's going on?
Yes.
This is awesome. This is kind of awesome, actually.
Well, see, AJ, do you see now why I don't do it like that? At what point are you going to realize that I run the show for a
No, the
reason?
problem is my computer sucks.
No, this is what happens when you do a video, so maybe stop doing that. All right, so
Is it what happens? Do I have to try it?
no, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Steve, I'm trying to get yours to download. Man, I really
Because
Sean
all
and
that
Chris-
production value I stuck in it. They're too goddamn.
I think so. You know what though, Steve? It's not coming up in my downloads. I think it's because of that stupid MKV format.
Yeah, they're. Yeah.
Oh,
just
no,
try
wait a
the
minute. Here's
MP4s
one.
then.
Here's one. All right. So let's try this one here. Man, I'm surprised that you guys did not have. No, it's not coming up. Oh well. Chris and Sean, I'm surprised you guys did not have more.
Poor playback was
predictions.
all because my computer sucks.
That's okay.
You said you're surprised we don't have more predictions?
Yeah,
No, I
you
would.
gotta throw down here, man. Like,
I would expect Sean to have more predictions, but
Well, I mean, there was obviously I had my thoughts of what I thought might happen, but it wasn't like I sat down and did a video.
no.
So
Well,
what do you-
in all fairness, we didn't plan on that either till like Tuesday. So
Right. Yeah. All right. So I've got one uploading. You guys talk. I'm actually gonna go. Tap a kidney real quick. But you guys converse. I'm gonna pull myself out. I will be
You're gonna
back
hit the
in just
refresher.
a minute. Yeah,
Yes,
exactly. I'm gonna hit the
yes.
refresher. Ooh, look at that. All right. So there we go. I've got one of mine up.
Yay.
Let's see. Now
I
let's do a second one.
I had asked Sean when he was on Mocktails from the Cantina. I said, do you have? How do you feel about the Book of Boba Fett? Because you've been waiting for this for a long, long time. As a number one Mando fan, and you had said that you were happy with it. It was a little different than you expected, but I think as far as a prediction goes, is it weird to say that I had no prediction for the
Yeah,
sequels,
I was-
or
Well, what I said to you when you asked me that before was like, no, as far as what my head canon was hoping for, the show was a disappointment. That doesn't mean I didn't like the show. I did like the show. I liked the ride that it took me on, and I was watching it just to let it see where it took me. I wasn't really predicting much of anything. I just wanted to see what they were going to come up with and where they were going to go with it. So once I let go of what I was hoping for, I just got to enjoy the show for what it was.
And once you did that, did you enjoy it?
Well, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
obviously there's things that I critique, but that doesn't mean I don't like the show.
Yeah,
I
that's the
mostly
thing.
like-
Like everyone, the point of like, oh, well, you can't say anything bad about it because that means you're not appreciating or enjoying that it even exists. I'm like, it's okay to be happy that it's there and also say it's not perfect.
Right. Just because I
Yeah.
thought the Moss Vespa gang was out of place doesn't mean that I hated them. They didn't really. They were just there, you know. But
Is it okay to say I don't really give a fuck what anybody else thought as long as I enjoyed it?
Yeah,
I mean, it was,
right.
it was,
Absolutely, absolutely.
it was kind of
And-
one of those things like
that would actually solve more problems online than you possibly imagine. If people just let people like what they like and don't like what they don't like, instead of trying to convince them, if you don't like it, you should like it, and if you like it, you should not like it, we'd be in a better place.
yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it's your fandom, it's your headcanon.
That's
If
a wonderful
you
photo.
like what you enjoy.
That's Coachella.
That's awesome.
You
Sorry,
like what you
Forcella.
see.
Forcella.
Porcella.
about,
Hey, you don't want to
you
get
know?
sued now. Watch it.
Right.
That's a great photo. That was a
I mean,
boy. Yeah, that was a fun night. That was definitely a fun night. I don't know how much you remember me being there, John and AJ, but it was
also
definitely a fun night.
Forcella.
Oh, dude, Sean, I definitely remember because as soon as I saw you walk in, I mean, you remember I fanboyed the hell out. I was like, "Oh my god, that guy's got Van Halen Mandalorian armor!"
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
I was a little excited. I've got pictures on my phone. All right,
I don't know
so
where I disappeared, by the way. So
the screen looked weird, so I dumped you because something messed up. But you know.
maybe it's because
This
I was
is going
trying
to get
share
choppy
that
as
other screen.
hell. But
It's probably because I was
Don't-
trying to screen share. So
Don't bother, AJ. I've got my 3 predictions uploaded so we can make fun of me.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm cutting in line.
Why? You're
Should have saved this for celebration show or something. But
wow, you sound awesome. This is great content.
come on, Keel. There we go.
no, nothing yet. There you go.
Oh, I've got skills.
Yeah, if you ever
Here are
want to
the
know
skills.
why your Luke Skywalker series saber,
Are you fighting? Are you
fuck,
fighting Daniel
this is
Logan?
why. This is like that Arrested
No.
Development video of George Michael.
Is that
All
Daniel Logan?
This goes on for
It-
3 minutes, by the way.
Yeah, you can
yeah,
turn
you
that
can
off.
probably
We'll-
stop that then.
We will look at that. This looks way better in slow motion. See, I did the force push.
Who's the dude in the
It's
white
like
shirt?
we're watching behind the scenes of episode 3.
It is. All right, AJ. So stop the video because it's we'll have to send that to Sean and Chris. But so that was in the lobby of our hotel. I
like that freeze
I
frame.
was with my giant belly hanging out, the perfect dent in my shirt. So that was not Daniel Logan, but he kind of looked like him, and I do remember telling him that he did look like him. That was literally in the hotel lobby. I had bought the Luke Skywalker lights, the Return of the Jedi saber. I've got it right over here on my wall, and it is dented to hell. And literally, the first day I got it, I beat the crap out of it, actually using it, battling. And the slow motion looked like I had moves. I was drunk, so I was like, "Oh man, I look cool doing this. I can really move." Then I watched the video. I was like, "You fat, unathletic slob." Oh, it looked terrible. And that was the night that not only so we did that whole thing happened. And then AJ and I brought down Star Wars Trivial Pursuit and set it up. And then a couple other another Star Wars fan comes over, this nice Nice young lady. She's like, oh, I'll play. So we get her in. And then some other dude comes over, and he's like all cocky. Oh, man, I'm going to kick your guy's ass. Just a total loudmouth. And the first question was, I wish I could remember what the actual question was because you guys would be shocked, but it literally might as well have been, what is Chewbacca's home planet? And the guy's like, and we're like, dude, did you just run your mouth and you can't even answer?
I suck at that fucking game, and I know that. Jesus Christ.
Dude, it was the most simplest. This guy was all about how much he's going to kick our ass, and then he was absolutely terrible. To the point where he got up and left, like right before the game ended, because he was just getting fucking annihilated. So, and then after that, AJ proceeded to finish an entire bottle of rum. And then
Dude gets up and like, "Screw you guys, I'm going home."
Yep. I got caught calling someone a whore, not knowing that the weightlifter behind me was friends with the whore.
God, I remember that.
Because a couple nights before,
man.
we're hanging out in the lobby having a nice conversation, and these guys did like a flash party. They set up this like DJ station, and it was like the loudest volume you've ever heard. And these two like slutty chicks are dancing, and these guys are just we're like, did anybody ask for this? So on this night in question,
It was like Jersey Shore erupted in the hotel lobby. It was
it
ridiculous.
really was, and it wasn't even like Star Wars related. Yeah. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, the other night we had this crazy loud music and these whores, like, and this guy taps me on the shoulder. I turn around, this guy's like seriously out of the WWE. He's like, those whores are my friends. And I'm like, in my drunken mind, I'm like, I can either go, oh, I'm sorry, or I might as well just admit it because you're going to get your ass kicked either way. And I went, well, I don't mean to call them whores, dude, but they were half dressed, and really no one asked for that music. And he said, well, the hotel asked us to do that. I'm like, okay, well, it was a bad decision. And I was honest with him. We start bullshitting, and then the guy's like, you guys should come party with us. So, of course, AJ and I are like, well, that's a great idea. Let's go hang out with douchebags. So we follow them like to 2 or 3 different places. And we're obviously like the dumpy nerds with these muscular fucking dudes and these hot chicks. And of course, we're just doing it for the story, like to see how far we can get it to go. And then we end up in a whole nother hotel. And we're finally getting into this club, which is like, it might as well be like the NFL players at the Super Bowl, super exclusive. It's like the douchiest thing ever, all laser lights and just idiocy. And finally, AJ and I look at each other and we're like, you know what? Yeah, I don't think. Oh my, look at this, Dave, my buddy Dave Hudak. Was it because the band kept playing the same song over? Dude, Dave, I love you, man. Dave is one of my best friends.
Play that same song. Okay, same song.
Same song. So we get to this other hotel.
Call out to the Simpsons. Nice job, Sean.
Yeah. But we finally, AJ, as drunk as we were like, all right, let's just call it a night, because this was at like 4 a.m. and we both knew we'd be up until like way past sunup, and something bad was going to happen because we were way out of our element. Like, I hate those clubs. AJ does too. So we're like, let's get out of here. And AJ's like, yeah, we got to go. And there's an escalator because this was on the 2nd floor. AJ could not remember why he woke up incredibly bruised all over the next morning. But it's because he jumped on the escalator, like the rail in between, and slid all the way down, bounced, took out a wet floor sign. And I'm running down the steps going, this is awesome. This is awesome. So, yeah.
AJ does have a habit of trying to do hardcore parkour when he's drunk.
Yeah.
So AJ and I got
good thing John's wife isn't on here, because she's got videos of us trying to do cartwheels in the hallway.
Yeah.
Chris,
AJ and I got kind of trashed at that arena football game, and we decided to try to hardcore parkour our way around downtown Cleveland, and it didn't work out very well.
See, Chris, you don't have to be worried.
A bit of an athlete.
You don't have to worry about hanging out with us at Celebration, Chris. Just go along for the ride and just watch. It's like a live action, like reality show. It's almost like Jackass Live.
It's like Star
and we don't even
Wars.
mean it to be.
Just go along for the ride and don't complain about it when it's over.
Exactly.
We just need someone with like a phone and the clip from Jackass, just a little riff, the down, 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 down.
Stories
Dude,
for celebration.
Just set us up, tee us up, we'll go.
Celebration stories.
Dude, it's
Yeah,
funny,
we
Sean,
should probably
it's
get
funny,
back
Sean,
on
'cause,
Boba Fett. We could talk celebration all night.
Yeah, one last thing, Sean. Spencer and John have already said that like after Forcella at Celebration this year, the party is at our hotel room. They are already like, we're hanging out with you guys again. The
They're calling
after
it, huh?
party, yeah, the after parties with you guys. Like they're ready to roll. So you guys will definitely have to jump in. So, but yeah, back to Boba Fett. So I've got my 3. They actually uploaded. Here is my first crappy, dumb, completely wrong prediction for the season finale of the Book of Boba Fett. Okay, so my first prediction for the season finale of the Book of Boba Fett, Grogu is going to pick Yoda's lightsaber, and I think that because he's going to end up with both. Luke's going to be like, okay, well, you dedicated yourself to the Jedi cause, learning to be a Jedi because you picked Yoda's lightsaber. Cool. So now you can have both. I just wanted to make sure you were dedicated, because you've seen all the memes online that say, only a Sith deals in absolutes. So for Luke to say you only get one or the other kind of is like a Sith type of a thing. So I think Grogu is going to choose Yoda's lightsaber. I was wrong, but I still think even though we saw the armor, I think that Yoda's lightsaber is there somewhere. I kind of feel like I still feel like Grogu chose Yoda's lightsaber, and then Luke was like, "Okay, here you go." That's why he got the X-wing and R2 and stuff like that. Like it's kind of like, "Okay, well, I'll let you do this because you proved your loyalty." What do you guys think of that?
Have you seen the toy aisles or the seasonal Grogu's? There is no way he was not going to go back to the Mandalorian.
I hadn't, admittedly, so I did go into it ignorantly, I should say.
I love your idea, though. I love the idea of him getting both.
Yeah,
The idea,
personally,
like, I want
would've
this like
rather-
ultimate mashup character. That'd be so cool. This idea that Jedi ain't right, Mandalorian's not right, they can coexist. Like that.
So here's
That
the
was
problem.
Was it Paz Vizsla?
Right.
Was that
He
the name of
was
the
a Jedi
original
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian Jedi?
Yes. So I thought maybe they could be working Grogu into the next Jedi Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I think, you introduce that Mandalorian armor and you're like, okay, well, you can't just have, Mando have custom chainmail made for Grogu and just be like, oh, he's never going to get it. Fuck it. Like, just toss it by the wayside. You can't have that. But then you really can't have Yoda's lightsaber and just piss that away. So, it's like both of them have to stay. So that was my way of going, okay, well, here's how they may introduce it to where they both stay. And, I don't. Do you guys think that my prediction right there is incomplete because we don't see Luke and everything, and so maybe he got kicked out, but we did see the chainmail. But do you think that it could still come back to where maybe I was right? Like, I mean, Chris, what do you think?
Very well could be, honestly.
Chris is still putting in bids on Slave One.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Rephrase that question.
Prisoner with job 1. Thank you.
Nice. So my question was, do you think that my prediction could still be correct because of the fact that as you see the chainmail, but whereas you don't see Yoda's lightsaber, like you can't not have both of them. So maybe it's still yet to come. Like I was wrong saying that I thought my prediction was wrong, but it still could come true. Like that he's going to end up with both.
Yeah, I would think that they will eventually revisit Grogu having Yoda's lightsaber for sure. There's no way that they would just tease that and not, 'cause they kind of teased it and they never answered any of it,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Especially because they introduced their own plot hole.
Yes.
There was a comic that showed Yoda's lightsaber being destroyed. So.
Yep.
Yeah, so there's got to be more to it for sure.
Well, then I also heard there was another story about Yoda making himself a second lightsaber. So
yeah, it's very muddy right now.
Yeah.
The fact that they've even opened the Pandora's box, though, means they've got to have an answer for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at it. But my buddy Dave, I liked Mace Windu Chewie.
I like
such an
turtles.
Oh my Lord.
I like the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
More Christmas Story references.
Sean, we are doing that. Me and you are doing a Christmas Story episode. I love that movie, dude. I love it.
Chris
You know
has
what's
been to
funny?
the-
You guys are still talking about. I still have a Christmas tree up in my house.
Well, Chris has been to the Christmas Story house.
Yeah, well, I've been to the Christmas Story house, and I still have Christmas trees up in my house.
Now,
How
when you
scary is
went-
that?
When you went to the Christmas Story house, did you get your picture taken under the sink? And right before your picture was taken, did you say, "Daddy's gonna kill Ralphie"?
Yes, yes.
There you go. I did it. That's where my picture was taken. That was my picture. Yep.
And I got my photo in the bathroom saying "fuck" with the life buoy in my mouth.
Yeah. It was.
Where else but in Cleveland, right?
Yeah. Oh, my
Right.
buddy Nino's checking in. Will Nino. I still need to go to that. The Christmas Story house. Nino, what's up, man? I love you, bro. Good to see you.
Now, is the Christmas Story open? The Christmas Story house open year round?
Yeah,
Yes.
and now it's
Yeah.
a bed and breakfast. Like you can stay there. You can spend nights there.
You have to do that.
Yeah.
I know
I
think they auction off to stay there Christmas Eve or something like that.
Yeah,
but
it's like a charity thing.
I don't know if you knew this, JT, but there is a welcome center just across the border of Illinois and Indiana, a welcome center for Indiana, where at Christmas time they have all of the they bought all the Macy Christmas Story themed window displays and they put them on display inside the welcome center.
No.
And then they do a Santa with a slide just like in the movie. Not as big as
Nice.
the movie, but you can get your picture with that and then go down with Santa and go down the slide. You know.
We're going to meet up there and we're going to do that. You and I are going to meet up there and we're going to do that.
All right.
I'm making that drive, dude. I'm making that drive.
My brother and his family for the past like 8 years, they've done that they go see the display, they get their picture with that Santa. That's their Santa every year.
Oh, we are so doing it, dude. We are so doing it. All right, so let's get back on topic here. I have my second crappy prediction. So here we go. JT's second terrible and completely wrong prediction for the season finale of the Book of Boba Fett. Okay, so my second prediction for the season finale of the Book of Boba Fett, I think we're going to see Bo-Katan and her crew again. I just think, only having Mando in there and, they've got to come back into this somehow. And considering, Boba's been talking about I need muscle, I think we're going to see Bo-Katan and her crew come and, somehow play another role. Maybe they'll set up this big battle and stuff like that. So, yeah, Bo-Katan and the other Mandalorians, I think they're coming back. So that's my second prediction.
God, were you wrong on that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have been cool if he was right.
Though honestly,
Yeah.
yeah, I was kind of waiting for that too.
Well, it just seemed like they were really skimping on the muscle that they needed.
Yes.
You know? I mean,
Yeah.
Well, and especially when they played the music at the end of was it episode 4? You're like, okay, well, I know that's like Mando's music, but it's almost like, to me, that music kind of is like Mandalorian music, period. So especially when they say muscle, you're picturing like multiple people. You're not just like, okay, we need a guy to come in and kick ass. So when I heard that, I was like, oh, the Mandalorians are coming back. So, I was right that there was a big battle, I guess.
Well, I think you're going to see that in the season 3 of The Mandalorian for sure.
Well, it was funny. I know
Yep.
a lot of people were like, "Oh, why couldn't Luke have showed up with R2 and helped?" I'm like, "Well, that would have been awkward."
You know what's funny?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got to give my wife credit. So we all know that R2-D2 is the most important character in all of Star Wars because he literally saves every movie. And
True.
when R2 showed up in the show, my wife lost her mind. That is her favorite Star Wars character. She's got an R2 covering her entire shoulder, tattoo-wise. And at the end of the season, the other night, she looked at me and she said, R2 did it again. He saved everybody again. I'm like, what are you talking? And she said, he flew the X-Wing with Grogu and Grogu did the job. Like R2 was the pilot. R2 made it happen. And I was like, son of a bitch, he did it again. She's not wrong. She's not wrong. Yeah, son of a bitch. Oh, look, it's our buddy Joseph Friend checking in. He said, "Did everyone enjoy the Mandalorian mid-season miniseries?" Yeah. I know I did.
Right?
Man, we have been over that one like 16 times tonight, Joe. But yes, we're actually kind of getting into that now. But yeah, R2 again.
We actually have viewers on all 3 platforms right now, by the way. It does work.
Well, we've had the same one person on Twitch. I think there's a bot because we've always had only one guy on Twitch. So it's
yeah, but we have no more on YouTube or Facebook, so it still counts.
It's all good. All right, so my third crappy prediction. Here we go. We can ridicule me yet again, but this is my third crappy prediction for the season finale of the Book of Boba Fett. All right, so for my third and final prediction for the season finale of the Book of Boba Fett, I think that we are going to either see or have it teased somehow, Crimson Dawn. We're going to get some kind of reference or even see someone from Crimson Dawn. I think they're going to bring that in. Once you bring the Pikes in, I thought that put Crimson Dawn in play. So I would like to see that. That'd be kind of cool because it would bring some more stuff from Solo in. And again, as soon as the Pikes became a part of the show, I was thinking, ooh, now you can bring in Crimson Dawn. So I know that in this time period, certain characters cannot be available to you because you've killed them off. But I really think they're going to bring Crimson Dawn into the fold here. So we'll see if I'm right. But yeah, third and final prediction: Crimson Dawn. Those are some phenomenal pauses there. I'm like. But
Swing and a miss.
Well, again, you're wrong. Again, you're wrong. It's really hard to predict this stuff. It really is.
No.
However,
Well,
you wrote a hell of a story right there. I want to see that now.
Well, I mean, you can't have Dryden Voss and stuff, and we know that Darth Maul unfortunately is dead in the worst death in Star Wars history.
Right.
But they did bring Crimson Dawn back in a big way in the comics. In between episodes 5 and 6, and Kira did survive, so Crimson Dawn could still be around.
And that was honestly one of the potential cliffhangers. I thought that might have happened, like a post-credit scene with that actress from Crimson that took over Kira. Maybe a scene with her, getting a report back that they just got their ass kicked on Tatooine, and and she'd be, oh, we'll see about that, kind of thing.
My buddy Dave, just a bit outside. Tried the corner and missed.
Bob, there?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
There's another one
your
we could
prediction,
do. Major League.
Your prediction kind of wrecked the whole season for me because I just wrote my own headcanon. They established there's already like 3 different factions of crime syndicates operating on Tatooine, right? Like you sat them all down at the table. You got 7 episodes. So you spend a few talking about the backstory about how he got out of the Sarlacc. Takes over Jabba's palace. Okay, then you've set the table now. He meets with the heads of the families. The rest of the season should just have been him muscling out one faction after another until he is the Force on Tatooine. He's the new Jabba. Then the stinger of season 1 is Kira coming to see him, saying, guess what? We've noticed you. You're on our radar. We're bigger than you. We're badder than you. And now we're going to kick your ass.
That's a damn good idea.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
I'd buy it.
Plus, there's crime involved. If you're a crime boss, you commit crime.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Did any of those videos of mine actually download, John?
I'm trying.
They look too good. You've got to do it.
Well, that's what I was holding out for, and since you don't have them yet, I think I'm going to try to go to bed.
Well, they did, but they're in MKV format, and you can only upload MP4s. So you have to
do the
convert them.
MP4s then.
Those didn't come over, I don't think.
Yeah, those were in there first. I put the MKV in because they were a smaller file size.
Oh, Steve. Let's see.
Hey, I gave you 2 versions of each of them to try to help you out, man.
I'm not seeing the MP4s, man. I'm not seeing them.
Did you go into the
They're in
folder?
there.
AJ, if you're able to see those, save them and then save them to the StreamYard in our brand so we can pull those up.
But yeah, I'm gonna take off because I got to work for like 10 hours tomorrow. So
Look at you having a
I know
job.
the feeling, buddy. I know
That's
the
the way
feeling.
we're ending the show. You just bailing out.
yeah,
Well,
pretty
Steve,
much.
Steve, this rocks. Don't forget, we have to come up with what our angle is for our next episode of the Nerf Herder Council next week, which is horror movie something. So we got to figure that out.
All I know is I'm not creating another new intro video because that fucking thing sucked trying to make it today.
Well, you did a great
Jesus
job,
Christ.
man. You
Just
did a
trying
great
to
job.
just trying to make font and change colors turned into like a 4-hour fucking project for a minute-long video.
How long?
I
How
think-
long was it?
I think a minute.
Yeah, go to bed. Okay, so that was Steve. So-
You should do a
They're uploading
sorry,
now,
man.
by the way.
Sorry, man. I had to do it, man. All right, go to bed and go to work, man. I'll see you on Wednesday, brother.
All
I
right,
love
guys.
you, man.
Take it easy, guys.
All right, later, brother.
There you go.
Yeah, I'll
Pussy.
throw an idea out for you.
Can't
You
take a
could do,
2-hour podcast.
Yeah.
You could do horror movie ripoffs. You could like do all the horror movies that stole ideas from the more popular horror movies and try to make their own version.
That was one of the ones we also kind of want to revisit, like the remakes of the three main ones. So the Rob Zombie Halloweens, the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street, and the remake of Friday the 13th, because one of those things is absolutely one of the most.
Can I remove
putrid-
myself from this body? I'm not a horror movie guy. I just don't do horror.
Well, don't
movies,
forget the remake
okay.
of Child's Play with Mark Hamill.
you know?
Well, we were just talking about the main three, though. We got to have the main three franchises. All right, so AJ did get him uploaded, so unfortunately Steve's not here for us to ridicule him. But let's go with Steve's first prediction for the season finale of the Book of Boba Fett.
All right, so nobody said we couldn't have production value when we did these videos. Right now it is Tuesday. It is 7:39 p.m. And I'm going to give my take on what I think is going to happen in the Book of Boba Fett finale. So, video number 1: Grogu takes the armor. I think this is easy. You know, the Mandalorian already has a bubble window on the top of his Spirit Airlines starship out there, so why else would it be there? Plus, point 2, we know that in a handful of years, Ben Swallow destroys Luke's Jedi Temple, and people already dislike the sequels enough. So I don't think adding Ben killing Grogu is really going to help anybody's cause there. So easiest one, Grogu takes the armor.
Look at him. Look at him.
AJ,
Yeah, look at him wearing the same clothes.
AJ in the private chat literally said, same clothes. He did these today, and I said, let's sell them out. So either
Okay, if he did it today,
No, he was first in, though.
he really was, but he was wearing the same hoodie.
He's like
He
Kevin
actually-
Smith in the same jersey all the time.
Right.
Hey, I've worn the same clothes for 5 days in a row, so I can't discount that.
Plus, we're talking Star Wars here. Everybody in Star Wars has one outfit.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Well,
Let's just address the fact that he
Me
actually
too.
got one. He actually got one right.
That's right.
AJ and I just completely shit the bed in all respects, and Steve,
Yes.
of all people, Mr. I don't really pay attention to shit, comes through with the first actual prediction that's correct.
Well, that was
Oh.
pure Vulcan logic for me on that one. I mean,
Oh my God. Chris, did you mute yourself because we can't hear you?
No, I muted myself because I was
Okay.
talking with my counterpart.
Oh, is the wife's there?
Danielle is here.
Yes. I was gonna
my
say.
daughter, Danielle
Yes.
D2. What's wrong?
Put her on camera. Let her say hello.
Here, come around and say hello. Come around and say hello. You got to maneuver yourself around the Star Wars Christmas tree. Pull up on February 11th.
So
You're
we do have a
live.
question.
Are you live? Are you live? Yes, she is here.
We are live.
Hi.
What's up, Dan? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm excellent.
up,
Thank you.
Danny?
All right. So Danielle, did you have a great time in Hawaii?
I had a really good time.
Was it really pretty?
Yes.
We are all very jealous because you were there for how long were you there for? Was it like 2.5 weeks or something?
3 weeks.
Ah, make it even worse. There you go. All right. So what was your
Did you
favorite
eat a
part
lot of
Hawaii?
pineapple?
No.
I love pineapple, so I gotta know.
I really don't know what my favorite part was. Probably all of it.
All of it.
Did you watch Book of Boba Fett with Daddy?
Part of it.
Part of
Did
it?
you like it?
I liked where all the banthas were there.
Oh yeah, she remembered the banthas.
Well, then that leads me to another question. So have you seen the movie The Last Jedi?
No.
Are you sure? Do you know what the Fathirs are?
No, but I know of the movie.
Okay. Well, have your dad show you The Last Jedi, and then we'll talk at a later date. You have to tell me if you like the Fathirs. I think you're gonna love the Fathirs because they're kind of like banthas, but they're just like running horses almost. So I gotta know. I gotta know if you like Fathirs. That's a big. It's a big thing.
Okay. Okay.
The horses.
Yes.
Yes. The space horses.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to see you, Danielle.
Good to see you too.
By the way, I currently have a Chihuahua
Good to see you
dreaming
too.
behind me.
Wait, Daddy, do you know him? You know that Arctic Fox book you took out of my bathroom?
Yes.
Do you know what it
She-
is?
I don't.
Arctic Fox or Vulptex? Oh, so
Well, what's the crystal fox in
Vulptex?
Voltex?
Vulptex, Vulptex. I have a stuffed Vulptex on my shelf over there.
My daughter is very.
You can't
much
help but
into
flex your
the-
knowledge, can you, JT?
That's one of the things. Should I bring it out for Danielle, the Vulptex?
Yes, you
Stuffed
should.
Vulptex.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. All right.
It's the Voltex. This is the crystal fox I was telling you about.
I love foxes.
This is the. Oh, you need
Oh my
one.
gosh,
So this is the official, as you can see from the tag, Star Wars Celebration Store stuffed Vulptex.
Oh, it's a celebration
So that's the Crystal
exclusive.
Fox.
Is that
Can't
from
really see
Chicago?
But it does shimmer all the fur.
It is.
It's like got the shimmery stuff in it. So
Oh my.
There you
Yeah,
go.
the camera's not picking it up. I bought one too, and yeah, it's all shimmery. It's beautiful.
it's very
And
shimmery.
it's from Chicago. Sean, did you get one of those?
I did not. I did not.
It's got my daughter's name all over it.
See, like my wife like loves the Vulptex, and I got it for her, and she's like, that belongs in your man cave, so it's not her. So maybe Chris, what I might have to do is kind of get your address, and maybe this might end up, maybe this might end up in with St. Charles. Am I correct in saying that?
I might have to send you a piece of the Tunisian door trim.
I think we can make a trade. I think we can make a trade.
I think we have a trade going here. Yes, for sure. Yeah, 'cause my daughter's happy about that. You know.
There we go.
Force
My buddy
is
Dave.
strong with this one.
Yeah, my buddy Dave. The force is strong with this one. Yep.
Yeah. The Trade Federation is still in full business here.
There we go. Yep.
My
says it?
daughter's a huge fan of the Banthas, and I got to tell you, the Banthas in the Book of Boba Fett were on full force.
Well, I
You
mean,
know?
and that's another thing that was amazing. Like, banthas were always just this dumb animal that was like hanging around with the sand people, and yet now you see them as almost like a pet. Like you can't humanize them. I mean, that's not the term, but they brought emotion to that animal. Like you actually felt
Yes,
something
yes,
for
for
this
sure.
background dumpy elephant looking thing. Like,
Well,
I mean,
you know what I want to see at the next celebration? You know how there's always the running of those people with the ice cream makers? I want to see a running of people through the mall dressed up as, in the dressed down version of Bobo, just running through the celebration going, like a bantha. Like a bantha. Everybody's just yelling, like a bantha.
See, isn't that great? Because we know that there's going to be so much at celebration that comes out of this stuff that's just going to be amazing. Like, like shirtless, like, tan guys with shaved heads, like trying to be like Boba and stuff like that with like gaffy sticks and everything. Like,
White pearly teeth.
exactly. Oh, it's so good. All right, so let's get to the last prediction. Steve's actually no, it's his second prediction, I should say. Sorry, we have two more. So this is Steve's second prediction for the season finale of the Book of Boba Fett, and yes, he was wearing the same clothes a couple days ago as he is today.
Okay, video 2. Last week, everybody and their mother was creaming in their panties about Cad Bane showing up. Well, I think this is another easy one, and I'd hate to break it to you. He dies.
All right, he is officially full of shit. He recorded this today.
That guy, you might hate Rogue One, but he's on the money.
he recorded these today. I'm here. I have a prediction of my own. Steve's third
By the
video.
way, do we need to do like earmuffs now? Like, are we introducing
yeah.
earmuffs?
Yeah, earmuffs. Yeah, I have a prediction for Steve's predictions. His third prediction is going to be, well, the last episode is going to be 58 minutes long. We're going to see the Rancor jumping across buildings and destroying things. We're going to have like the motorcycle people come back. They're going to take cover behind a skiff. I'm just saying that's my third.
Just throwing it out there a while ago.
And you know what's funny? Knowing Steve, he very well may have done this today, and that's why he uploaded them.
He's trolling.
He's like, "Oh, it's Tuesday." Yeah, dude. Honestly, he might be. He literally might have done this just to get us to do this, which would be the most fantastic thing ever.
That's why he left the show early, right?
Exactly. He didn't want to catch crap live. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I don't even know how to react to that. Like, if he did honestly do these on Tuesday, saying
I
that
hate to
Cad
bust your
Bane-
bubble, but yeah, it says last updated in Google Drive, and it's February 8th. So yeah, he did these 3 days ago.
Oh man,
Is
he's
he
on the
really
money.
2 for 2?
Yes.
He doesn't watch anything. Every time we try to do an episode, we're like, "Steve, did you watch this?" "Nah, I didn't, dude, but I'll just react to what you guys say." And the guy that what was an Anchorman?
Steve, have you watched latest Star Wars? Nah, brah. But have you seen Peacemaker?
Yeah.
And he doesn't like Rogue One.
Yeah. It's just like Anchorman. Even the guy that can't talk says something. You guys got nothing? like he's 2 for 2. How is this possible?
Does he have a third one?
He does.
Okay,
He
let's
does.
hear it.
Let's roll the dice.
All right. Okay. That we're all gonna make a prediction now. I'm going first. Is Steve 3 for 3? I cannot believe he's gonna be 3 for 3. I'm saying no, he's not 3 for 3.
He's not 3 for 3. No.
All right, Sean.
I'm gonna say he's got all three.
Okay. All right.
Yep. We're going left column, right column. I'm going with Sean here. I think he's got it.
Son of a bitch. That means AJ knows that Steve cheated and he's gonna go for 3 for.
No, I
right.
actually have not reviewed these. I watched one of them and was like, motherfucker, use the goddamn. He used OBS. You saw the rotating like logo and stuff. Like he really, man, he loves that shit.
Can we please? And by the way,
He is the producer, by the way.
Yeah. And let's give him full credit. The videos do look great, man. Like good for him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. All right. So 2 of us say that he's not going to go 3 for 3. 2 of us do. All right, here we go. Steve's third and final prediction for the season finale of the Book of Boba Fett.
Keep the part.
All right, video 3. This one's my long shot. You know how these guys have adopted the Marvel thing of taking the end of their series and promoting what's going to happen next? Well, what better way to promote something that's not even on the books yet, right? And it's a perfect thing, perfect time frame. Han Solo, Chewbacca in the last episode. Bank it.
We
got it. We got it, Chris. We got it. Left column wins.
Man.
Left column wins.
I did that, but he said it was a long shot, so God bless him for that.
I'm not gonna lie. I did have the tiniest bit of hope that they might have somehow brought Han into this. And I still think they're bringing Han Solo into this somehow.
Did that cross your mind?
It
Oh,
crossed
yes.
my mind, but I knew it wouldn't make sense for the storyline that was being told. I figured if it was going to happen, it would be a post-credit thing.
Nah, it never even crossed my mind.
For me, it did because I thought the whole Crimson Dawn thing coming in, like I thought then, okay, like, you know, and, you know, his ties to Jabba, and, you know, Jabba's gone. So, you know, and, you know, he's obviously got ties to Boba Fett. So, you know, I did. I was like, yeah, maybe there's going to be some Han Solo stuff here. And I was wrong, but hey,
Well,
you
these
know,
are all
Chris,
things
we
we
nailed
can
it.
hope
We
for.
nailed it.
Yeah,
All things we can hope for season 2, you know, the Crimson Dawn, Han and Chewie, and maybe even Mace Windu. You know, if we're gonna go that far.
All
See,
right,
that's
so
the thing. Like this show, this Friday night deal for us is kind of like a test bed of stuff. I feel like they're, you know, like the last scene of season 2 of The Mandalorian was, you know, the seeds of like what can we do with deep fakes and stuff? How can we resurrect old characters on a TV budget? We got more of that this year. I feel like, yes, now that they know that they can do Luke Skywalker well enough that people aren't going to complain too much, the door is wide open. I feel like every character, as long as those actors have enough material in the archives, like anyone can be deep faked at this point. So all characters are on the table from all time periods.
well, and but the shit. Go ahead, Chris.
I
Sorry.
had commented on somebody's post that had, you know, posted a picture of Mark or Han, Luke, and Leia, and they're like, "What's gonna happen?" And I was like, you know, if Mark and Harrison are cool with it, and so is the estate for Carrie, I'm like, let's do it. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm. You know you're going to get more Vader, and James Earl Jones won't be doing the voice anymore. It's just going to be deep fake voice. Like Luke's voice was deep faked. That was not an actor. That was deep fake voice.
Yeah, that was all.
That wasn't Mark
That was
Hamill?
That was
CG
spitting
dialogue.
out words.
Yeah.
I think Mark Hamill got credit just because they used his likeness.
Right.
You know?
His vocal likeness. Yes, we are deep faking voices now.
Well,
You can
his
deep fake your
vocal
own
likeness
voice.
and his likeness. You know.
Yeah,
it was-
but
it wasn't a
JT,
voice
seriously, like
acting.
there's a website you can read a 90-minute script. It's all these like vocal like lines and stuff, and you can make a deep fake of yourself.
Well, then, Chris,
All it takes is an hour and a half of reading, and you can create a vocal profile.
Chris, I'm going to send you $100. I need you to read for an hour and a half, and then I'm going to do a deep fake audio of you saying the 2016 Cubs got lucky. We didn't win that fair and square. The rain delay did it. The rain delay did it.
Now you gotta do a deep fake of him talking about how much he hates Rogue One.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, there's
You
a
can't
Chris.
pay me enough to do that.
Chris, I will do an hour and a half reading for you, and you do an hour and a half reading for me, and we will just do the most ball-busting deep fakes ever. Ever. You can just
you'd have to pay me a lot of money to do that.
I just told you I'd give you $100.
You got to do more than that. You got to do more than
Well,
that.
I'm giving you $100 and my hour and a half reading for free. I think that's pretty good. Like, you don't have to pay me to get my audio. I'm just paying you to get your audio. So I think it's a fair trade, because you could have me say things like, I think Purgles are the best idea Star Wars has ever had. And the world between worlds is absolute brilliance. I really hope they introduce time travel into Star Wars. That would be... Unfortunately, now this is recorded, so someone can
I was
actually
just
rip
gonna
the
say
audio
you
to say
just
that.
created your own thing. That's gonna get
Shit, I just gave it away.
quick.
on
Make it go
YouTube.
viral.
Exactly. So, all right. So we've been going at this for 2 hours and 23 minutes now. So we've given our thoughts on the Book of Boba Fett. Let's wrap up with just some fun conversation. We were talking about Celebration, and since AJ and I are Celebration veterans, not quite as veteran as you guys, let's talk a little bit more Celebration before we wrap up shop. So, are we going to get an episode of the real fans of the saga featuring the Nerf Herder Council invading your compound at Celebration 22 in Anaheim in 3 months?
No. But what you will get is Mocktails from the Cantina doing a.
Oh, that was the wrong answer, Chris. I'm sorry. The correct answer is yes. You're going to record an episode of us absolutely out drinking Dewey, beer for beer, shot for shot.
Oh, I tell you right now, that will not be an episode of Real Fans of the Saga, but it will be an episode of Mocktails from the Cantina.
There we go.
In a collaboration with Nerf Herder Council.
Yes.
Now
Now
is Celebration Anaheim 2022.
that is going to be a blast, man. Now is Dewey coming?
You mean
Is
Duffy?
Duffy, sorry. Yeah, sorry.
Dewey.
Idiot.
I know what Dewey.
Maybe Dewey's
I know
coming.
you
Who's
Dewey,
Dewey?
Louie.
Seriously. Like, I was wondering if Dewey was
No.
coming, but because I know Huey and Louie aren't coming, but the
Well,
other
they're
three.
gonna be across
Love
the
that
street.
decimal system, man.
Huey, Dewey, and Louie are across the street. They might show up.
What a moron. Sorry, so
you,
Duffy.
Louie, they might show up. Duffy
Yes.
will not be at this one. No.
He heard we were coming. He's like, I can't hang with those guys.
No. I you know what? Who knows? Maybe Duffy will show up, but I don't think he will. But I know Huey, Dewey, and Louie will meet us across the street, but they're not going to come to our place.
Okay.
We got to go to them.
Now-
we got to go to them.
Oh, look at this. Kale McLeish. He went and got his third booster. He says, I've gotten shot, and now I'm back, and you're still going. Kale, this is how Star Wars fans hang, bro. You have no idea. This is how we do it. Now we're talking celebration, so. All right, so now is
and-
Alfie
and-
coming?
This guy's in Australia.
He's in Australia, yes. He's
Bro, it's
11
like
hours.
fucking 11 o'clock in the morning over there.
Actually, it is, yes. Yeah, 11
Okay,
o'clock in
you
the
know
morning.
what? Yeah. Man.
And he's a fan of my Dream Theater show. He's like literally one of our first two viewers ever. And he's guest hosted on my show and stuff like that. He tunes into every single show. His grandma's been on our show. Like Kale is the man. So yeah, he is incredibly supportive. Look at AJ's all professional. Like he just takes himself out, instead of saying I got to go piss, he takes himself out and then sends me a private message that says I got to go piss, which means I'm not going to let it go by. And not,
11:40.
yeah.
He was trying to be professional about it, and he just blew it to
Yes.
shit.
Yep. Yeah.
So, but yes, to answer your question, yes, Alfie is going to be there. We need to help him score a pass for Saturday because he was only able to get Friday and Sunday before they sold out.
Okay.
But
Well-
yeah, he will be there.
Chris, don't forget, we need a special episode with me versus Alfie. We've talked about
We've been
this.
talking about this one. Yeah.
You
I'm going
versus
at-
Alfie.
Yeah, me versus Alfie because he hates Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, he hates Revenge of the Sith.
There is. I'm trying to remember if that's something about the prequels he hates, and I am the complete opposite. And I told you, I'm like, dude, me and Alfie are gonna go at it.
Well, that
Let's-
was based
let's
on
get
what you saw on the Real Fans episode, wasn't it? You saw him say something in the Real Fans, and you're like, oh.
Yep.
We got to have a talk.
And then,
Rob,
oh no,
here's
it was
the
also it was
question,
on it was
you-
also
you-
Chris. It was on one of your episodes. No, it's on one of your episodes, Chris, with Alfie. You were interviewing him, and you guys are bullshitting, and hanging out, and stuff like that. And he mouthed off about I could swear it was Revenge of the Sith because that would be the one Star Wars movie that someone disagrees with. I really will go to battle about.
Yeah,
But
right.
So yeah, me and Alfie we're gonna have it out, dude. And I'm probably not in person because he actually does know kung fu, and I'm a fat slovenly bastard, so he'll kick the crap out of me if I mouth off too much. But I'm gonna give Alfie some shit because he is so wrong. It's not even funny. So it's going to be we're gonna set it up like an MMA fight. It's gonna be like a world heavyweight championship. Alfie, wrong, whatever his last name is.
Jimenez.
Versus Alfie the wrong Jimenez versus JT the truth Drake.
So
Does this
you're-
mean we get to see you in combat shorts?
No, I'm not. I just said before you got done with your piss. Thank you. Yeah, I said I hope we don't do this in person because Alfie actually knows Kung Fu and I will absolutely get my ass kicked.
Probably will, yes.
Hey, brother.
Yes.
Your viewer in Australia
I can still
said-
hear you just because I'm not on the stream, okay?
I'm glad you didn't fart while you were in there, dude. So anyway.
Your viewer in Australia says that Rots is the best one.
It is.
And he also says, I know Empire, but my favorite is Sith the whole way.
Kale.
You know what? I
Revenge of the Sith, baby.
I got to tell you, man, my two
Kale's
favorites,
a homer.
two favorites, Empire and Sith. But number one, baby, Rogue One. Nothing beats Rogue One, and nothing's ever going to beat Rogue One. It's the best movie ever made. Best Star Wars
Seriously,
movie.
like that's the top of your Star Wars pantheon.
He never lets it go.
No,
It-
never.
I
Well,
love,
they
I
should,
love
though.
Rogue One, but I'm not going to put it over the original trilogy.
No,
I put-
told him
I
that.
put-
I'll say it
No,
again.
Rogue One
Thank
is the
you. Thank
original
you, AJ.
trilogy.
Thank you.
That's the thing. I put it as part of the original trilogy. That's episode 0. Well, not
Best.
0,
Of
but
the original it's the best.
375.
With Empire a close.
And see, Chris, I have it the reverse. I have Empire as the best Star Wars movie, and Rogue One is just a teeny bit under. But
Okay,
my favorite Star Wars movie is Revenge of the Sith.
It's hard,
But yeah,
hard to disagree with that. But the good thing is that we are on the same page.
Yes, yes.
So it'll
Now-
always be the original trilogy in whatever order, 1, 2, 3. Anything after the original trilogy will always start at number 4 on the list.
No. Rogue One made A New Hope
Dude.
look like a fucking Mary Poppins story.
Dude, until
Damn!
okay, look,
Come on, I know
guys,
how-
guys,
AJ,
guys.
AJ, I
Until
think
we
I'm
line
gonna
up a
take-
charity to do a marathon podcast, we've gotta
We
constrain
got
a
to
little
reel it
bit.
in. I know. Yeah.
No, we don't, AJ. It's WTF.
I love all
Fridays.
these ideas, but
Back to
Rogue
celebration.
One gave
let's
A
raise
New
some money
Hope
for a
to
good
life.
cause if we're going to be on for 8 hours, right?
We could. Yeah, man, Chris, that was a hell of a man. Rogue One makes Episode 4 look like a Mary Poppins movie. Damn. Wow.
Yes.
Dude, it is true. Wow, I never thought of it like that, but yeah, you're right.
The parallels are
Like
uncanny.
the scale of the battles, the damage, the graphics, the visuals, everything. Like
Come on.
it, yeah, it
Come on.
kind of punks out.
You know
The
what?
original.
Rogue One made.
But
A
it should.
New
It was,
Hope
you know,
look like a cool movie.
39 years newer.
You could say all you want about Rogue One, Chris. It's never going to escape the fact that it would never exist if it wasn't for the original trilogy.
I was Sean, I was going to say the same thing.
You know, that's what everybody says. No, Rogue One.
Because it's true.
Yeah, but here and Chris, I love Rogue One. Like, I mean, like, if you like it 100%, I like it 99.99%. So we're that close. Okay.
Have we gone past the point of actually caring about like what the topic of the show is? Because I can
Yes.
totally interject then. Okay,
Well, I
great,
think we
Chris.
covered the topic of
Have
the
you
show.
read Catalyst? Catalyst
No,
is the prequel book to Rogue One. It's
had
amazing.
Catalyst, but I've never. No, I have it, but
Oh,
I'm not
dude.
a book reader. I want to see the visuals. Show
Chris,
me
same.
the visuals.
Well, then do
Same.
the audiobook, Chris. It's basically like the Rogue One prequel. It will make you appreciate Rogue One even more.
You can go to audibletrial.com
I don't know
/
if that's
NHC
possible.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
your
Actually,
free
Chris,
copy
yeah.
of Catalyst or any
Yeah,
other
Chris,
audiobook and a
yeah,
30-day
Chris-
free trial.
Yeah, Chris, did you know that the Nerf Herder Council is brought to you by Audible? Just go to audibletrial.com / NHC for your 30-day trial and a free audiobook download, which for you could be Catalyst. So there you go. See, AJ, you got to get the full thing in there with the radio voice.
Oh, I could
You
do a
know?
good radio.
Oh, do I?
One, how do I get? Okay, 2 questions out of that. How do I get Audible as my sponsor for Machtails from the Cantina? And 2, do you really want me to love Rogue One any more than I already do?
Yeah, why not?
I don't
It's,
need a fucking book to do that for me.
Chris doesn't really need incentive to love Rogue One any more than he already does.
look at my buddy Dave. He's so dark. Steve, 2 out of 3 would be pretty good if Meatloaf were still alive. Too soon.
Yeah, it's a little too soon, I guess.
My buddy Dave has the darkest sense of humor. He is so awesome, man.
Oh,
my
you wanna
God.
You want to hear
Here-
about
here
a
we-
too soon joke?
Real quick
So-
though, Kale McLeish, I would actually like to get a free copy of the Catalyst audiobook. And Kale did ask, like, wait, is that a real thing? Yeah, Kale, it actually is. Seriously, go to audibletrial.com / bookofboba.com/NHC, and you get a free 30-day trial. And with the 30-day trial, they let you download one book for free. So just go there, sign up, and you get Catalyst, and then just, terminate your membership. If you do like audiobooks, though, it's like $14.95 a month. You get 1 credit per month. I've been a subscriber for, God, was it 8, 9, 10 years or something like that. I've got a huge Audible library. But yeah, Kale, that's actually true. We are presented by Audible. Yes, Chris, you can do that too. And it's a great thing. So yeah, Kale, go get it for free, man. It's absolutely fantastic. So
talk about dark humor. I saw a meme joke the other day. It was Betty White talking to Bob Saget, saying, "What do you feel like? What do you feel like for dinner?" Bob Saget's like, "I don't know, meatloaf." And then Louis Anderson says, "I'll bring the fries from McDonald's."
Oh God. Did you hear how Bob Saget actually died, by the way? Did you see the cause? And we'll get back to Star Wars, but real quick.
Did
you see that?
That was sad.
Head trauma. Like he hit his head on something and then went to bed, thought nothing of it, and never woke up.
Just thought he had a bruise, went to bed. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's crazy. But anyway, so all right, so going back to
it's got to be drugs if you're a comedian.
Yeah. All that coke he did blew his heart out. Look at this, my buddy Dave. I said he's got a dark sense. He says it's not dark, gray Jedi humor. God, he's so awesome, man. Oh my Lord. All right, so yeah, so Sean, as you said, back to Celebration. So yeah, so Chris, we are doing this crossover. It's going to be incredible. And we are going to come to the house, and this is going to be the dumbest thing ever. But you've got the same house that you had for real fans of the saga.
No, not the same house.
I thought you said you did. Okay, so
no,
it's a different house.
I had the same house.
Okay,
same concept, but not the same. Not the exact same house.
Okay, I thought you did. Okay,
look, that would be cool. We would have to that's like going to a filming location.
Yeah,
that's what I was gonna say. Like, if I walked in, I'd be like, "Oh my God, I watched the show and this happened here." Like, we got to put 1 million beer cans on the kitchen counter.
Exactly. Right. Somebody's gonna. The crazy thing is, somebody's gonna stay in that house during Celebration Anaheim. Two things can happen. We can go knock on the door and say, "Do you know who we are?"
Pull that move.
Pull that move. Or maybe the people that are staying there are like, "Oh my God, you guys filmed this show here. Come on in."
For us, it'd be like returning to the scene of the crime.
Yeah, it would be a little bittersweet because it feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it, Sean?
It was almost. I mean, shit. 2015. Come on.
That'd be 7 years, man.
My daughter was 1 year old then,
And that's the one thing that I think about, like, because you had Danny on a minute ago, Chris, and it's like in the show, she was basically an infant, pretty much.
Yeah.
And that's
newborn,
for people that have seen the show, it's a great show, by the way, and it's really entertaining. But yeah, you were a very new father, and Danny was an infant. And now here she is, showing up like we're asking her Star Wars questions, and she's, in what, first grade, second grade, something like that.
Yeah, second grade. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, and
wow,
man,
there's so many good stories from Celebration, and everybody always asks the question, which is your favorite? And I always say it's really hard to pick because every celebration has always had its. I always say it, and Chris knows we've had this conversation many times. Every celebration has its own flavor, and has its own moments. So it's really hard to pick a favorite, I mean, it's like, first one was, I always call it the Woodstock of Celebration because of how it rained all weekend and everything got ruined, but we still chugged through it anyway. It was just, it's great. Alfie likes to tell this story from Celebration 3 when this was like Lucas's first appearance at Celebration. So, and my wife actually called me out. The line started to form the night before outside the place a line started to form for people wanting to get into the Q&A for Lucas. And I was like, holy cow. I don't know. And my wife goes, if you're a fan, you'll get in line. I was like, oh, really? You're going to. So we went in line and it started to rain. We took the comforter from the hotel. And we're using that for cover, which didn't last very long.
Right.
But then Alfie was with us for a little while. Eventually he said, screw this. He went back to the hotel. Thus began his adventure of finding a bag of open lunch meat in the elevator with a sign saying free meat. You know, which he started to just kind of film people. He started to film the elevator just to see people's reactions when they found the bag of meat. So,
all right, maybe Alfie and I will get along. Okay. Alfie and I are going to do an episode just absolutely battling, and then we're going to meet at Celebration, and then he's going to become a part of mine and AJ's adventures, just wreaking absolute havoc all over Anaheim.
Oh, he's perfect. He'd be perfect for that.
Well,
oh my God!
Your viewer from Australia asked, what are you expecting? And I've talked about expectations. I can guess that Ewan McGregor is going to be there. Tamora Morrison is going to be there. Pedro, right? Pedro.
Pedro Pascal.
Pascal,
I'm sure,
he's going to be there.
I'm sure Fennec will be there, and a lot of people from Boba and Mandalore. There's going to be a lot of Mando, Boba, Book of Boba people there for sure.
Yeah,
Gina Carano.
I would think it's
Of
going to
course.
be
Yeah.
TV show heavy for sure. You know,
Look at AJ. Seriously, Gina Carano, and now my buddy Dave. Order 66, the kid, and get in there. You get your ass out there and find that fucking dog. Dude, he has got so many fucking references. Oh my God, Dave. Jesus. Yeah, okay, Patty, what's her last name? She's directing the Rogue Squadron movie. Yeah, Patty Jenkins.
Yeah.
I think she's gonna be there. I mean, that is.
No, I think she's blacklisted.
She's pretty busy right now. I don't think because that whole Rogue Squadron movie I know got put on a definite hold. So I think she's wrapped up in a movie right now, and then she's got Wonder Woman after that. So it'd be cool if she was there, but I don't think they'd have anything to show with her being there.
I just think they're talking about it because isn't that supposed to be the next movie on the list? I mean, they've got to do something about.
I don't think so
the
anymore.
Next movie's going to be.
I think the next movie on the list is anybody's guess at this point.
You know what? By the way, this is something I wanted to and we'll see. This is a prediction. I think all of these TV shows they're doing are leading into another film trilogy, and I think that's going to be Rian Johnson's trilogy. The way they're tying things together. So
I have a theory on the whole film.
We'll get back to Celebration, but
I have a theory on the film thing, though.
Okay.
Especially since the Patty Jenkins thing got scrapped, basically, because COVID fucked everything up, filming schedules, and now she's not available when they thought she would be, so who knows when Rogue Squadron's coming out. I think the next film is going to be the culmination of The Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, Ahsoka. It's going to culminate in a movie. I think that is the next movie that is going to take the time slot, the release date of whatever was supposed to come out, Rogue Squadron's original date, basically. So whatever the next Star Wars movie is going to be, I think it's going to be a TV show culmination kind of a thing.
Could be. It's.
Okay.
I think. Gosh, I don't. I with all of
what else is going on right now?
Not much. I mean, I don't even think we really know. I mean, because there's supposedly they announced that there might be a Taika Waititi's going to get his own movie, and then they announced that Kevin Feige might get a Star Wars movie, and then the Rian Johnson trilogy. It's a hot button issue. Will it happen? Won't it happen? But the bottom line is, none of us even really know when they do decide what movie they're going to do, what it's even going to focus on. Are we going to get new stories, different timelines? Are we going to try to continue the Rey saga in some fashion? Do we want that? I mean, it's just like it's kind of like you said, both COVID and the division amongst fans and however you want to describe it, it is all playing a factor in I think of what they're deciding to do next. And I thought Rogue Squadron was a great idea, but like you said, it kind of got muddied, and now we're kind of like, okay, well, now what do we do?
Yeah. I would say, and this is probably not going to be very popular because it's the least popular Star Wars movie. But if I had a prediction for Celebration, I think they are going to do some very Attack of the Clones centric things. You know, it's 20 years since it came out, and there are a lot of fans that love that movie. I do. I actually think that movie is really interesting. I mean, like the dialogue is shit, but it's a very different type of a Star Wars movie. So and there's a lot of fans that like it. And being the 20th anniversary, and they like to do the whole anniversary thing. I really think that they're going to pull out a lot of Clone Wars centric stuff, especially considering the fact that, I mean, now you've got Tim Morrison doing Book of Boba Fett. He's right there for the taking. So I really think they're going to do stuff like that. So,
the last celebration was the anniversary of Phantom Menace, as well as 40th anniversary of A New Hope. And then we sort of missed the 40th anniversary Empire Strikes Back because of COVID. We had the non-celebration kind of thing.
Yeah, right.
And then, I don't know if they're going to try to throw in the 40th anniversary of Jedi in there, or just focus on, like you said, the anniversary Attack of the Clones. There will be some anniversary focused on it. It could be Jedi, it could be Attack of the Clones. It's going to be probably one of those two.
I have a very big prediction for Celebration this year. We're all going to have a kick-ass time. Celebration is always it's when you dig into social, and Chris, you especially, doing a show, you're involved in the deeper aspects of fandom and stuff like that. When you dig into the social media of things, and there's so much negativity, and it just continues to grow. And as you said earlier in the show, people complain and complain and complain. Why can't you just be happy there's more Star Wars? When you get to Celebration, it's 50,000 people that are all on the same page. Everybody loves Star Wars.
Yeah.
You can absolutely have those conversations that online end up as screaming matches, but in person you're like, oh yeah, I could see that point. And the weeks following Celebration, you go on social media, everyone's like, oh my God, it was the best time ever. We're all friends and it's a love fest and all that kind of stuff. And when you factor in the fact that that's what Celebration is, and then you add it to the pandemic and the fact that this has now been pushed back 2 times, I think that this is going to be potentially, and you guys have a different view because you guys have been in all of them. So you were there for 1, 2, 3, 4, all the kind of stuff. AJ and I started with Celebration 5. But I think it has the potential to be maybe the greatest celebration because of a confluence of circumstances. Celebration itself is such a great fan hangout, but then when you factor in the fact that the world is kind of opened up, we've been, stuck in our homes wearing masks and the whole shot thing and all these debates about COVID, and yet we're all coming back together finally, thousands upon thousands upon thousands of Star Wars fans. I really think it's going to actually enhance the Celebration experience. So, for me
for sure.
It's definitely not going to be the celebrations that we've been used to. It's a whole new world now.
Yeah.
But it's most definitely, it's a guarantee that it's going to be a kick-ass time for all who end up showing up. That's not even an issue. It's not even debatable. And whatever conditions are applied to us being there are going to be irrelevant to us hanging out, having a good time for our love of Star Wars.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what's awesome too is we've seen the last Celebration especially was all digital cues for things. So the crowding for hours on end was kind of done away with finally, because just as recently as 2017 it was, oh, you want to get into the keynote speaker panel at 11 a.m. Well, are you camped out by 8 p.m. because you're sleeping outside tonight? That kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it great that we just happen to get the digital tools right in time for this problem to come up? That's you can't crowd, right?
I thought the way they handled all that stuff at Chicago was fantastic. I thought,
yeah,
Some people thought
We
it
got
wasn't fair, or this, that, or the other thing. But you know what? It was absolutely fair, in my opinion. I thought
Yeah,
it
and
was,
we've got the tools now. We have a thing now that we needed tools for, and we got the tools just in time to do a celebration that way.
yeah.
So yeah, I think it's going to be okay. I really do.
I do
I'm
too.
excited
Oh, yeah.
for it.
Yeah, looking forward to it for sure. You know.
So we'll close up here pretty soon here. We're at 2 hours and 49, so we'll hit 3 hours maybe. But I want to introduce we have
But
one of
this
my other
guy,
buddies,
the chunk.
Vito. And this is Vito Andolini. So, he's my dude.
Vito!
Shoot by two.
What's up,
Yep.
Vito?
So
Him got crouton breath.
You made a offer you couldn't refuse.
yep. That's exactly why. So yeah. So
quick thought. You were talking earlier about the space horses. What do you think the carcasses were in the meat locker at the beginning of episode 5? Were they tauntauns? Were they space horses?
I
What are
really
you thinking?
I have to admit my first thought was, damn it, are they doing the horse meat thing? Are they doing the father meat? Like,
Because those carcasses looked a lot like horses, and they didn't look like any kind of cow or anything like that.
Yep.
They looked a little too
Yeah.
meaty to be tauntauns.
Yeah.
You know.
Man,
So-
the one thing I would hope for this entire like TV ecosystem is they've got to disguise the references a little bit more. Like it's looking pretty much just like Earth with, some aliens walking around. That whole slaughterhouse was like,
Yeah,
that's just Jersey.
From the butcher bibs to the plastic divider.
Right. Like I
Yeah.
want a little bit more style in there.
I mean, even you couldn't come up with something other than ceramic tile walls. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, guys, this has been fun. So let's talk a little bit of celebration real quick, and then we'll get out. We'll continue celebration. We'll end there because I feel like this is kind of like celebration. Sean, we have met you in person, but we hung out a little bit. We didn't know each other. It was kind of one of those awesome, hey, we're Star Wars fans things. Cris, I met on an airplane, which, Cris, I think I did find that audio. So I will send you that for Patreon. Me telling the story of how you and I met, actually.
Yes.
On an airplane. But yeah, to close up shop with tonight. By the way, thank you guys very much for coming on. Cris, I know it's been 3 hours, man. Thank you so much for making time for us. Sean, I know
Thank
you
you,
probably had
man.
other things
Thank
to
you.
do. You guys are fucking
I
great.
just happened to catch the live feed had started. I thank you for allowing me to be a part of it. It was super cool of you.
Not a problem, dude.
You're welcome
yeah.
anytime, man.
So celebration. Kale actually asked. He says, do you think there'll still be digital integration so someone like me that can't be there physically can still be a part of it? And I responded in the chat, but I said, Kale, 150% yes. That's actually a major part of it. They put everything online.
Yeah, they have a.
I would
YouTube
say that's
channel.
fucking stupid
Yeah.
and they should block his IP. But
Yeah, because they had
Well-
it. I remember even at Celebration the Orlando one before Chicago, they had a live stream that was going like almost all day long.
Well, that was
Yep.
Anaheim. That was
Yeah.
Anaheim.
Yeah.
remember the
Yeah,
complaints? People complained like we paid for tickets. Why are they putting it online? Because
Yeah, right.
it's like seeing a photo of the Grand Canyon
Yeah.
versus being at the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, right.
No,
It-
well,
it-
no, because it's just a giant fucking hole in the ground. That doesn't matter. But Star Wars Celebration being there is completely different than watching a video. The Grand Canyon is a goddamn rock with a hole in the ground. Who gives a shit? So anyway,
Yeah, and then truth be told, them
I care.
Even though they stream all the key, even though they stream all the
fanboys,
Q&As,
I care.
Well, the other thing, they stream the Q&As, but then they block out any reveals
Yeah.
to the
Mhm.
to the YouTube audience. So
Yep.
so there's that benefit to being.
Well, I would think too, especially now, they would do that more so because it's kind of creating social distancing naturally. It's like, hey, you don't have to be here. It's okay.
Yeah.
Stay where you're at. We're gonna bring it to you.
Yeah.
But it's never the same thing. I mean, they do it on XM with the audio. They do it streaming on a Star Wars channel.
Well,
It's
and
not
you
the
guys
same
have-
as being there.
I was just about to say that, Chris. Like, all of us have been there, and we've all watched the replays online, and it's absolutely like incredible to relive those moments, and it's not like being there. I mean, it doesn't come anywhere close to being there, to be in the room for those panels, you know, to walk around and have those experiences where, you know, like, you know, I just happened to run into Jeremy Bullock eating dinner, and I got a picture with him. You know, my very first celebration, I was at Celebration for less than 2 hours, and I ended up having lunch with Ben Burt. You know, like,
shit.
yeah, you didn't hear that story? You didn't hear that? Oh God, I'll tell it real quick. So very first celebration, AJ and I, it's Celebration Orlando. The first where we actually stole a golf cart at that celebration and almost got busted by police for that one. But
that's a different story.
Yeah. So yeah, we it was literally the very first day, and we're in the commissary. It's like at noon, so we had gotten in about 10:15, and the place was absolutely packed. So we sat down at a table with my buddy Don, and we're eating lunch, and a couple people got up and, you know, left the table, whatever. And I get up to throw my trash out. And as I turn from throwing my trash out, I bump into somebody, and I bumped it, and I went to go, oh, I'm sorry. And I went, I'm sorry, Mr. Burt. I'm like, I had literally ran into Ben Burt. I was like, oh my God. And he says, are you done eating lunch, or do you have a table? I said, no, I got a table. He's like, do you have any open seats? I can't find a spot. And I was like, yeah, we got a couple spots at our table. He said, okay, can I sit with you? And I'm like, fuck yeah, you can sit with us, Ben Burt. So literally, he comes and sits down, and Ben Burt is eating lunch with us. And I'm just sitting there like, because my friends had been to a couple celebrations before, so they told me, this is the greatest thing ever. You have no idea how great Celebration is. And the first time AJ and I walked into the room that morning, like, I started crying. I'm like, they're not kidding. It's a world of Star Wars. Like, my mind was blown. I'm like, I get it. But I didn't truly get it until about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes later, when we're sitting there with Ben goddamn Burt.
Can we freeze on this for a second, though? How the hell, in all of that Star Warsness, did nobody recognize Ben fucking Burt and give him a seat for lunch?
Dude, man.
I believe you, but there's a little part of me that wants to play like the barbershop guys from Coming to America. Man, you ain't never met no Ben Burt.
You ain't never met no Ben Burt.
Well,
Dude, funny. I wouldn't believe it either, but it actually friggin' happened, and it was just that simple,
Sean,
too.
I'm telling you, Sean. Sean, you've been to our celebrations. You've been to all. You know that those things happen.
That's why I believe you.
Yeah, you know that those things happen.
You know, okay, so Mark Thrasher just chimed in. He said, dude, I was in line to get food right behind John Knoll, C2 or C3 maybe.
Yeah.
So I was checking out of my hotel, is Celebration Chicago, and John Knoll's behind me. And I look at John Knoll, and I'm like, he looked at me when I looked at him, and he's like, dude, don't fucking ask me for anything. Because it was the end of the weekend, and he's like, dude, I don't want fucking people running up to me. He goes, don't be that guy. And I was like, John, I just want to thank you for making Rogue One possible. Thank you. And he goes, you're welcome. That was it. I didn't ask him for an autograph, didn't ask him for a photo, but the look that John Knoll gave me was not John Knoll of Celebration 2 or 3. It was John Knoll in Chicago on the last day going, I want to get the fuck out of here.
See, it's
Dude,
funny because
you can literally thank John Knoll for whatever graphics you appreciate on this broadcast, because I made them in Photoshop.
Yes.
Yeah.
John Knoll and his brother. John Knoll and his brother. They're gazillionaires.
Celebration 2. Alfie and I rerun into Rick McCallum just chilling out behind the convention hall by himself. Alfie bums the smoke off him, and we just sit there shooting the shit for about 15 minutes.
That's a guy that's a dream interview.
Rick McCallum was never a dick to anybody.
Yep.
I think he was like the nicest guy the whole entire time he was with Lucasfilm. You know what? I gotta be that guy, but we are going on 3 hours, and we can talk another 4 hours.
No, that's fine. I said we're gonna can't. Yeah.
Rick McCallum. We could go on and on and on. We gotta save some of this content for Celebration Anaheim live when we do our
Well, here's what we're gonna do.
show.
Right
Those
before,
sound
right
like our
be-
phone conversations, right, Chris? That start our 10-minute conversations that go 3 hours.
what, Chris, when we are like a week out from Celebration, we are going to find a way. I will upgrade my StreamYard membership to we will do a simulcast. We'll broadcast to both of our locations. I'll give you our logins. You give me your logins. And we will do a massive Celebration simulcast. Before we go to Celebration, we'll have a Mocktails and Nerf Herder Council co-broadcast. And we will tell all of our Star Wars Celebration stories. And we will just tell them all of them. And we will just let people know how great it is.
Yes. and we need to do it live. We need to do it live when we're there.
Yes. Well, we will definitely do that. And before we go, I will say one last thing. Since you said that John Knoll's kind of a wang, I'm going to end on a happy note. My wife and my stepson on the final day of Celebration Orlando, we were in the hotel lobby at the Rosen, and Warwick Davis, who obviously had hosted the whole thing, he was all over Hell and Gone. Steph saw him coming through the lobby to his hotel room as a little cart, and she said, "I am so sorry, but is it okay? It's my first celebration. You know, my stepson and I are here from." And she said he could not have been more nice. He said, "I am so tired, like it's crazy," and he actually was like not saying it as in like I'm so tired to take a picture. He's like, yeah, let's get a picture. But he was actually conversing with them as like a person, like, you wouldn't believe how tired I am. I've been so busy. And she says, I can imagine. So Thrasher, yes, you're coming on. Thrasher's coming on for C1 Tales. You guys can all tell C1 Tales. But yeah, Warwick was so accommodating and just bullshitting. He's like, man, I'm so tired. I did this, that, and the other. And she's like, I can imagine. Like, we saw this panel and got their picture, and he is smiling so truly large in the picture that they have. Like, you can tell it's not a fake smile. Yeah, and he was the sweetest guy. So that's what Celebration is about. That's what motherfucking Star Wars is about. And what we did tonight, 3 hours, just bringing on our random friends to come on. We had people from Australia tuning in. You guys, like, we're going to do a cross show at Celebration, before Celebration. Yeah, Sean, there we go. OU812, baby. This is what Star Wars is about. Chris, Mocktails from the Cantina is a fantastic show. I love supporting you. Thank you so much for all the perks that you give me. Man. Anytime. Sean, thank you so much for coming on, dude. I love you. The fucking Vandalorian stuff is awesome. AJ obviously is my brother. I love doing this with you. What an absolute blast to just sit here and bullshit Star Wars for 3 hours on a Friday. You guys are awesome. So, Chris, before we go, plug all of your stuff.
AJ, just follow me on Mocktails from the Cantina. Become a Patreon member. $2 a month gets you a fucking kick-ass podcast. And if you got a couple more dollars to spend, you will be so pleased. You'll feel like your balls are tickled virtually.
I spend $11.
I'm sorry. What tier do I have to be? I would love a virtual ball tickle.
$2 will get your balls tickled.
There you go.
What's $5 get me?
I spend $11.38 a month on Chris's show, and I get all kinds of insane content. I mean, Chris, I think it's almost daily I'm getting emails with special stuff. I mean, it is a ton of content. So, guys, check out Chris's show.
How do I find you on Patreon?
Mocktails, Machtails from the Cantina. Mocktails from the Cantina. It's releasing the Valentine's Day episode tomorrow, episode 59, a podcast episode. I recently released a never before seen Real Fans of the Saga finale episode, half of it. Also the holiday episode, Real Fans of the Saga, the highly anticipated, long overdue reality show, second half of the season. Also the rough cut of Saying Goodbye to Jeffrey, the Toys R Us documentary.
I
all
want to see
kinds of
that.
shit I'm releasing, and this is all. It's all for peanuts. It's all for peanuts, you know. And John can testify that Mocktail subscribed. Yes, subscribe on YouTube. We got a lot of free shows there. John's been a supporter. He's getting content bombarded left and right, and it's quality stuff.
High
And,
quality.
putting my heart and soul into it just for you guys to enjoy the ride that I've been on, so you can take the same ride that I've been on, and I'll tickle your balls for $2 a month.
All right, Sean. So now you got a question. Can I follow the Vandalorian somewhere?
Basically, Mandalorian mashups at Facebook or Instagram is where we post most of our stuff.
And let's be clear.
Mandalorian will be at Celebration, so keep an eye out for that.
And Sean is a regular on Mocktails from the Cantina.
Yes.
Right.
And Sean, you will do a custom helmet for Kale if he requests it, correct? You do custom jobs.
Money talks. So you ask Chris about that.
Kale, I will pitch in to help you get your own custom Vandalorian helmet, dude. I've got you. A
Vandalorian will probably make an appearance at the Alderaan Idol, I'm guessing, perhaps.
We need to do a duet. Let's everything we do is a duet. We let's just do that.
Don't go
let's
breaking my heart.
I was thinking more like Mammoth WVH, but okay. So my final thought of the night. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Sean. Didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I said absolutely. We'll make that happen, buddy.
Yes.
I owe you a drink.
No, you don't. And what you owe me is pictures from the show, and just, dude, I was so happy to be able to help you out with that. So that's an offline thing,
I am forever grateful.
Not a problem, dude. As I said, leave no Van Halen fan behind, my brother. So,
hey,
my
AJ has just joined Mocktails from the Cantina.
There you go.
So thank you, AJ, for your support.
There it is.
I would have spent the 1138, but I love the reference to Journal of the Wills better, so you got less money.
Hey,
you done screwed up, Chris?
I'm sorry, Wills.
Wills. Cool whip.
Cool whip, yeah.
All right, so my final thought of the night, we're going to get out of here. To all of you guys that chimed in, Kale McLeish, I love you, man. It's been 2 nights in a row. I've spent 5 hours with you, man. Mark Thrasher, great to see you. Joseph Wren, my amazing best friend, Dave Hudak, man. I love you so much, dude. My final thought of the night, Alfie Jimenez, I am coming for you, buddy. We are going to go at it, and I'm going to take you down because you are wrong, and I'm going to prove why you are wrong. And then we're going to hug and hang out, have a blasted celebration.
And go
Sean,
chase the meat in an elevator.
Yeah. Sean, Chris,
for you.
I love you guys. AJ,
love you too,
obviously,
man.
you're my brother. I love you guys, man. Hopefully, all you guys had a great time. Thank you so much. We are out of here. We are the Nerf Herder Council. This is WTF Friday. We will see you next Wednesday, February 16th at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Until then, WTF, what the Force. May the Force be with you. See ya. Oh, I didn't hit the end button. I just looked like an idiot.